Here we go. Shall we play a game? Last game did not go too well, did it? But I figure, eh. I started about 10 minutes early, so I guess I just need 10 minutes to play a game. So, I use this 10 minutes to play a game. Thank you all for being here. Well, if you're listening to me at this moment, you're probably not here. I can't really be sure because it never shows me exactly how many number of people are here. It says 0. You get comments from 3 or 4 different people at the same time. Why it says 0, but oh, we got somebody here. All right, so I started about 10 minutes early to I figured play a game. Good to see that you're here. How's it going? You want to yap something at me real quick? I suggest you do it here in the next 30 seconds. If not, I think I'm gonna get me a game going. We'll get a little bit of winding down before I start this because this might sound a little bit weird, but I don't know. Most of you probably understand this. Doing things like this is not really the easiest thing, and it actually does take quite a bit out of you. So I've come to realize, it's a lot more, whatever. I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot nicer playing a little bit of a game of pool, relaxing the nerves, because this used to be my favorite pastime. Never had more fun than I can remember. Well, I mean, I have lots of fun with you guys, but lots of fun playing pool one-handed at the bar. Whew, it's my favorite thing. Well, besides picking up women. I'll never deny that. That was fun. But that's not what I consider fun anymore. So, I still enjoy the game of pool. So, I think I'm going to play myself a quick game, and I should be ready for anybody that's going to show up at 11 for live. So, here we go. Oh, that's not fair. That is not fair. Cat on the table. Play it as it lies. Oh, come on, dude. See, he knows that I actually enjoy putting attention here, and he wants attention. He's a crazy cat. Alright, well, I'm going to throw a little video on so you guys can listen to something as you watch me act like a fool. Just want to say more than anything, hey, thank you for being here. You want to do one of those, man? Alright, here we go. I'm sure if you're here, you probably heard this, but I think it's an important message, and like I said, I'm starting early.
Fellow American patriots, I come to you today to let you know that your government cannot overpower you, and that you as the people hold your own fate and your way of life in the palm of your hands. You are under the watchful eye of an ever-increasingly tyrannical government, but within that government lies patriots just like you. For fear of retaliation from that very government and the safety of my family, I'm forced to cover my face like a common criminal, like a coward. I've been told that my thoughts are traitorous and that my actions un-American. Why? Because I support the people? Because I support the Constitution? I'm here today to say to those of you that are asleep that you are the traitor. You that stand idly by as our freedoms are slowly stripped from us are the un-American. I ask civilians on the street if they're aware of the form of government that this United States was founded on. Almost every one of them proudly stated democracy. We spread democracy across the world, I've heard. Let me read to you Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States of America. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and it shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or the executive, the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. Tell me if this one sounds familiar. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How did we get so far from our roots? And while I'm on pledges, many of you might have seen the YouTube video produced by Harpo Productions, where dozens of celebrities pledged to be a servant to our president, mankind. A servant to our president. Last time I checked, our president is a servant for the people. And I pledge no allegiance to anyone. You know what I pledge? I pledge that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. That's what I pledge. And that's the pledge that every U.S. service member makes. Yet it seems most of them don't even know what's in the Constitution. Second Amendment, written December 15th, 1791. A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. I consider any laws that affect my right to keep and bear arms as an infringement of that right. So you lawmakers out there, go ahead. Push past the Blair Holtz H.R. 45 bill. We'll use every avenue of peaceful resolve that we have. But you push our backs against the wall, and we will push back. Next is the 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or the people. So all these laws that the government passes, like you having to give your child a shot known to cause autism before your child can attend public school, the restrictions of homeschooling, the banning of medicines that help people, gun control being referred to the committee right now as I speak, the suspension of habeas corpus, so many unconstitutional laws that 9 states have already declared sovereignty of the United States government, and it's expected that over 20 do. I was proud whenever I read the Oklahoma State resolution that this serve as notice and demand to the federal government as our agents to cease and desist effective immediately mandates that are beyond the scope of these constitutionally delegated powers. That's passion, conviction, dedication of the Oklahoma residents. And they're not alone. We, the American patriots, are tired of standing idly by. This is a call to arms. Support the sovereignty of your states. Reclaim your freedoms. Write your senators. Write your congressmen. Write your state representatives. For you American citizens that are asleep, there's something going on around you. If you can't see it, it's only because you're so self-absorbed in your trinkets and your cell phones and your video games, your corporate jobs. There's a revolution brewing under the surface of your country and you don't even know it. If I ask you if you're awake and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to start searching for information. You need to read your Constitution. You need to know your rights. Look at what started the first revolution. Do research on your monetary system. Keyword the Federal Reserve. Ask yourself a simple question. Do I want to be free? Or do I just ask for a protective master to watch over me? Time for you to make that choice is at hand. The enemies of the Constitution are not far away in some distant desert. They're found right here on our own soil. We have become complacent. We've allowed the tyrants to take over this country, and we have no one to blame but ourselves. The time is now. We must rise up together as one voice and resist while we still have the ability to resist. I know many of you are afraid of the government. You wonder how can you fight something as strong as the U.S. military? I ask you this question. Who is it that's behind those rifles that you fear?
Preach it, brother.
They are your sons, your daughters, your mothers, and your fathers. They're American citizens just like you. And let me assure you that there is a resistance within the military. We will not be silent. We will will not obey. We will not allow the American people to harm their rights be taken away in any way. We will not disarm the American people during martial law. Let me assure you, patriots, that we will die fighting our brothers in arms if we must, but we will not fight our country. Our lives will be stake on this. Patriots, the time is at hand. If the government pushes us into a corner, then I wish you well. The fight that lies before us will be the toughest thing our generations have ever endured. Your grandchildren's grandchildren will read about how you fought for their freedoms.
Right, they will.
I only hope they will not be as foolish as we and allow the government to ever do this again. Patriots, I'll leave you with the saying that my father left me with the day that I left the Marine Corps. Keep your chins up, your heads down, and dig your foxholes deep. Godspeed, and Semper Fidelis.
Oh, I guess that's what I need to do is play left hand.
Never forget what is in front of us, brothers and sisters. We have allowed this to get so far. We have such little time to stop it. I'm prepared for it.
Well, hello. Glad to see you guys here.
Set of pride, people.
Well, how is it going, my young little Zedek Prides? Oh, come on. I haven't even got any messages yet. Come on. Well, how's it going? What time is it? Oh, we're only 2 minutes in. All right. 2 people here, 2 minutes in. I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So, yeah. Game of pool didn't go so well, but still blew off some steam. I've been playing very much lately, and it's funny. I kind of enjoy playing a game before I start this with you guys. So, I'm sure probably whoever's here was here on the last conversation, so I will say thank you for coming back. That means a lot to me. All right.
I got a car with an app. I don't mean I shop for a car. I mean I went from I want a car.
I went from nobody cares. So this is kind of interesting, and this should actually kind of, have a lot of us thinking because, the old saying of the road to hell was paved in good intentions. Well, it is. It is.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I'm here to talk about item number 10. The agenda to get us out of our cars and onto bicycles continues on in this city. And it's all in the name of receiving grant money. It says
how the volume is.
online that the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments received a grant from the California Transportation Commission so they can put lights all over the San Gabriel Valley. This is exactly what is wrong with this city. There is this attitude around here of it's not my money, so we can waste it however we want. That is my money. I pay taxes to this city, to the state, to the federal government. I don't care if the money isn't coming out of the West Covina General Fund. It's still our tax dollars, and like always, it's being...
This guy is 100% right, and, I hate to reiterate this so much, but, our forefathers literally told King George and gave him the middle finger because of a 1% tax. We were taxed 50%. Wake up, patriots. We are patriots. Do you understand that? Not patriots that fight. We are patriots. We pay. Yeah. Pretty fucking sad, isn't it? They weren't willing to pay 1%. Our ancestors that gave us this beautiful country, and we're sitting here paying 50%. At least. Yeah, there's certain people a little bit more, a little bit less. But yeah, right around there. They're rolling over in their graves, brothers and sisters.
Based on stupid things that the majority of the population doesn't want. And we know that most people don't want this because the free market tells us so by the fact that 95% of all people in this area are driving around in cars. If people wanted out of their cars, they would do so. It may not look like it on the surface, but this idea of trying to get everyone pedaling around on bicycles is Marxism. All these people we see on TV who are always talking about ending capitalism and how they want to change the system are the ones we have to end car ownership because car ownership represents two things to the Marxists. It represents the ownership of private property and it represents inequality. Car ownership is inequality because not everyone has the same car, and that's just not fair. But you put out those little green bicycles, and now suddenly we are living under total equality. If we get people to stop driving and they start actively transporting themselves, that's going to destroy our economy because that will severely limit how many places people can travel to in a single day. But that's the agenda. The Marxists want to destroy capitalism and usher in a new economy. They want to change the system from capitalism and private ownership to communism where no one owns anything and the government controls everything. Government-run bike share where the government owns the bikes as the infrastructure of this new system. In communist society, there is a tiny wealthy elite at the very top.
All right. So, what do we got going here? It's after 1 a.m. here in Texas. So what? 11:06 here right now, mate. You. I was just actually kind of starting this off of just kind of showing what they're doing to our rights. Wasn't really sure how many people were going to show up in the beginning, so I figured I'd start off with some of this stuff and then get into the other stuff that I had planned. This is only going to be... Thank you. I salute you right back, mate. I salute you right back. No, I just figure I was, I did that first thing and then this, and this is only going to be a little bit longer. And I'll get into the other stuff that I was planning on. Really wasn't sure how many people would show up. That's kind of why I started early and play a game of pool. Haven't been doing very good lately.
And then there are the poor, starving masses. This is more evident in California right now than in any other state in the country. It is very obvious to me what is being planned. A future is being planned where everyone is in dire poverty and no one owns anything. Because once again, private ownership represents inequality. We are going to be so poor that we won't even own our own bicycles. That's why government wants to install bike share at the affordable rate of $7 per hour. Something I would like to point out is that naysayers always tell us that these bikes are for cyclists and to give people other options. That is a very disingenuous statement because you can't say that with a straight face and then call it active transportation. Active transportation is the idea that you are going to actively transport yourself from point A to point B. This is about setting up a permanent infrastructure for the massive underclass of the future. Fortunately, our city is linked to this game and this bike share business has been tried out all over the country.
I know sometimes I pull out stuff that doesn't make any sense, but something's happened to me recently and I can... I'm not going to say that I can or that I'm special or anything like that. I don't mean it like that, but I've noticed that the little tiny things that they're doing, just like when you say the road to hell is paved in good intentions, these little tiny things that we all stand up and we go, yay, this is going to be great and we're helping people and all this, almost anything that is driven home to you that is like that is literally something to take more of your rights away. No more, no less. You really gonna give up and move to Russia? Oh, hell no, I'm not gonna give up and move to Russia. Oh, hell no. But I will give that motherfucker some credit. Hey, at least he's the one country in the world that's willing to actually take white Christian refugees. Yeah, when all the other countries taking refugees, or not even taking refugees, they're actually just taking migrants that are looking for a handout and looking for whatever. But for every non-Christian that we accept, we get about 230 or 250 non-Christians for every one Christian that we get. That doesn't make any sense. If you learn how Russia deals with this stuff, you take take a little bit of time, look up that footage, you'd be like, whoa, wow, no wonder they don't have a problem. You look at, all these other blockchain countries that aren't, even going and dealing and letting anybody in. Well, they don't have any knife attacks, they don't have any van attacks, they don't have any of this stuff that everybody else is having. And I understand bringing in, oh wow, my country can't sustain its own population, so we got to bring in more people. Okay, that's understandable, but when you're bringing in more people and you're bringing in other people that will not assimilate and not actually do what you need them to do, that's like shooting yourself in the foot and saying, okay, I'm ready to go fight. It's insanity. As you have people that you're bringing in that say that they're 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and they're really 22, they're really 38, they're really 28. It's the insanity of what we're doing to ourselves and what we're letting happen is nuts. All right, I'm getting a little bit off on a tangent here. I know, I thought for a minute back, but I love my country too much to leave it. No, and that's what breaks my heart too, because I live in California, and I have people constantly just like, man, I feel bad for you, this, that, and then, but I see constantly people leaving my state, and we are still a red state. No, but we've allowed people. Here's how most Republicans or most decent minded people think of things is, if you're not infringing on my rights or my stuff, I don't give two shits. Well, that is a good way to be, and that if everybody in the country was that way, that everything would work out great. Well, here's the freaking problem. We've sat here and we have allowed these people to come in and pass these little laws and a little law here, and they pass this law that sounds really good, but on the back page of that law is three other things that nobody even freaking heard about, and they passed it right under our eyes, and we voted for it, and because we didn't even know what we were voting for. That's what they do to us. That's what's going on. There is over 40,000 laws on the books. Do you think anybody knows 40,000 laws? No. And guess what? They don't even know what the true number is. And we sit here and let these people go against us. If they want to get you, they will get you. Just about the average person, from when they drive out of their driveway to driving back home after work, they've committed 3 felonies. That's how easy it is. If they want to get you, they're gonna get you. That's the sick thing, and this is what we have to stand up against. Jerry Brown is destroying California. 100%. No, what it used to be actually a felony to give tainted blood, knowingly actually give somebody a disease that could kill them or that they can't get rid of. That actually used to be a felony. He turned it into a misdemeanor, a slap in the wrist, calling it like racist, sexist, or some crap like that. How is it racist or sexist that somebody gets charged for knowingly doing so? It's insane. I mean, think about it, what they can do in the blood banks, what they can do this, that, or the other thing. And I mean, I used to be somebody that gave blood a lot. And because, they always called me back and they always wanted me to come back. And that's probably, I am RH negative. So they always wanted me to come back, and I never started to realize until I started to see how demonic everything was. And I'm like, these bastards just want my blood. These motherfuckers are freaking Satanist vampires. I used to always think that it was a good thing to give blood. And at the same time, I still do think it is a decent, honorable thing to do. But what scares me is they don't need as much blood as we're giving. And where's all that other blood going? That is disturbing. All right, let's get this video finished up. And then we can talk, and then we can get on to the next one. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
And was proven to be a failure. In the first round of failures, the government, in all of its wisdom, thought the program would work better if they kept the bikes but got rid of the bike stations, enabling the users to leave the bikes anywhere they want. The result is big cities have these junky green bikes that no one is taking care of, just lying around everywhere. In the documents online, it said that this city would have this very system where people can leave the bikes wherever they want. Is that what we want for our city? Green bikes lying on the ground all over town? The city of Pasadena, a member of ICLEI, did this very program and announced only a year later that it was a failure. We are in the 21st century, and we are regressing in the name of progress. When I was growing up in the 90s, China had a reputation as being a country full of poor people where everyone rode bikes. America had a reputation of being a wealthy country where everyone drove cars. China is much wealthier now, and people are driving. Meanwhile, America is going back to bicycles. Do the right thing. Stop the social engineering. Stop wasting our money, and stop allowing this Marxism into our city. Thank you.
What it is, he's right.
I can say, Canada, I'm going to start out first before we do. I want to pull item number 10.
I didn't even understand him.
Item number 10. I pulled this because before it was even brought up tonight, I was against it. You know, we heard on the news about all these bicycles down in LA, wherever it was, all over the place. I mean, people ride these bikes and they just park them somewhere. And you have people tripping over them, you have people falling and stuff. So, I don't know what we have to do, but I would like to see this thing receive a file and just fit it in. If I can do that, we have to.
Guy sounds drunker than me, dude.
It's a motion rejected.
And that's bad.
I think last year when we went to Asia, we see the bike in Beijing, okay, and I see bike is become polluted. It's like all the places, okay, and they speak with the article and they close share bike become pollution, okay, and they say even steel bike in one area, okay, not used, okay, and they doing two-way. In Taipei, they do two-way stations, okay, you plug it, you put the car, and then you unplug it and go to another destination, you plug in. And it is very functional. Okay, and then the compare with Beijing is you use the GPS, okay, and you're driving around and then you dump many places. So I didn't see the bike on the sidewalk, on the street, this or that, and on the small areas. Okay, I think, okay, Mr. Washer, okay, saw that too. And the problem I have is, but it's different country, different city. This is California. This is West Covina. I barely to see any bikers, okay, riding on the bike. I'm the person. I have about 5, 6, 7 bikes in my garage. Collect dust. Okay, because I don't think this thing is safe to ride a bike.
Yeah, all right. I'm done with this. All right. Hey, I'm just gonna say, hey, thanks for sticking through that shit. Yeah, that was just what the fuck. Made no fucking. It was getting a little bit. Nobody cares that you got a car with an app, right? Nobody cares.
Here's my car.
Oh, here it is. Really again? Are you fucking joking me? I thought I already figured this shit out. All right. Give me 2 seconds, my brothers and sisters. All right. Oh, I figured it out. Don't worry, I'm gonna get my computer figured out here pretty quick. Oh goodness.
So you're gonna teach me.
That one was too funny. We might show that later.
Yesterday we asked the president
How about this?
along with many other issues. Tonight we're running fewer commercials and airing our extended interview with the president. Here's part 1 of that conversation.
Let's hear what you think about this.
Mr. President, thanks for doing this. Thank you. The reaction to your press conference in Washington was swift and intense. Former CIA Director John Brennan described it as treasonous and a potential.
Okay, here's one thing that really, really pissed me off was that even Fox News and whatever, hey, of course Tucker and Hannity didn't go that way. But what really pissed me off was like even the mainstream went that way, but even half of Fox News went that way of being against him when we've literally had other presidents that have literally, taken it in the rear end and then turned around and given them a reach around. It's insanity. And we're talking shit about what he did when he got a double-sided question at Catch-22 of what that reporter asked him about, well, do you believe your own, intelligence community or do you believe Russia? Well, my own intelligence company has been actually coming after me, and they've never given us any of the servers that we were worried about. And then on top of that, I kind of do believe Russia. Well, hey, Russia's so horrible. Yeah, they're the biggest growing country that is actually reviving in Christianity. Yeah, we should hate them for that. Oh, they're not communist anymore. We should hate them for that. You see how the left was. They loved Russia. They stroked them off as much as they could when their people were in power. And now it's whoa, if you're dealing with Russia, you're a complete piece of crap. You know why that is? Because they're the ones that were colluding with Russia. They're the ones that sold 20% of our uranium rights. They didn't just sell 20% of our uranium. That's what people don't get. They sold the freaking mines, our uranium rights, 20% of our uranium rights. That's not the uranium that we have in hand. That's the rights to the uranium that you get every freaking whatever. Like, it's insanity. I just, do you want more viewers? Yes, I do want more viewers. Well, hey, you got something to tell me that I suck about or that I'm doing wrong? You go ahead and tell me. Yeah, I do want more viewers. I like that it stays somewhat small, but no, I would, but I don't do Twitter. I've never done Facebook. I've never done MySpace. I've never done anything. This is the only platform I've ever put myself on. I've always considered it all as the devil. This is of the devil. I know I'm using the devil black screen here, but I decided to use it to my advantage because guess what? He was stupid enough to give me this to use. But yes, I would love more viewers. If for whatever reason you can send some this way, or you have an idea for how many to get more viewers, which I get that all the time. But like I said, I've never done Twitter, Facebook, anything like that. Okay, I'll share you mentioning this sort of video if my work is okay. I'll share my monitoring this share soar video if my work is. Hey, if you want to send people this way, I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. I'm pretty sure, it was last night and it was a little bit late, but I kind of remember that you had some pretty different divisive views compared to who else was here, but at the same time, I like dialogue. I like going back and forth, so if you would like to share this, or you're willing to share this with other people, get them here, I'd appreciate it. I always enjoy having a dialogue. All right, let's finish up this and do this really quick. All right.
Potentially impeachable offense.
It's good.
Why the push toward conflict with Russia in Washington on both sides?
Well, I think Brennan's a very bad guy, and if you look at it, a lot of things happened under his watch. I think he's a very bad person. I also think that when you watch Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, when you watch all of the things that have happened, Comey, take a look at that, and McCabe, who's got some pretty big problems, I assume. You look at the deception, the lies, what's gone on in the last fairly long period of time before I won. Long before I won, during the campaign, I guess probably during the Republican, when I was fighting against 17 other Republicans. So this has been going on for a long time, but these are people that, in my opinion, are truly, they're bad people. And they're being exposed for what they are. And it's a shame that it has to happen, but it's really hurt our country.
Their view is that the United States is forever in conflict with Russia, which is our chief global adversary, and anyone
I didn't mean it that way, but hey, awesome.
The United States without taking up whether that's true or not. Why do you think there is this bipartisan consensus on that in Washington?
Well, it's sort of incredible because you look at World War I and World War II, that was Germany, and in World War II, Russia lost 50 million people.
Never forget, Germany was actually trying to get away from the Zionist bankers. Never forget that. Look up your real history. I was brainwashed for 30 years too. Isn't it kind of insane and crazy that they couldn't get out of debt and it could take about a wheelbarrow worth of money to even buy a loaf of bread? Somehow this obscure dude came to power and all of a sudden they weren't starving anymore. Kind of weird. Kind of weird that Ford sued the United States government in 1952, 1953, whichever it was, for blowing up his Panzer factories in Germany. And he actually won the lawsuit. Huh. Shouldn't that right there make maybe most of us think there might be a couple of things we might want to look into? I would imagine that might be a good reason. I mean, how does Ford sue the U.S. government for blowing up their Panzer factories in Germany during a time of war? That's a little bit interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that is. But guess what? You think the mainstream media is going to tell you about that? Oh, hell no. That's what I'm here for. All right, let's get through this and we'll get down to it. If you guys we'll be ready. Ready for all this? Thank you.
And helped us win the war. And I was saying to myself the other day, I said, Russia really helped us. I'm not pro-Russia, pro-anybody. I just want to have this country be safe. I don't want nuclear weapons, even people thinking about it. Russia and the United States control 90% of the nuclear weapons in the world. And getting along with Russia, and not only for that reason, that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Are they our chief adversary, would you say?
Well, they're strong military, but their economy is much smaller, as you know, than China. And I don't want to even use the word adversary. We can all work together. We can do everybody can do well, and we can live in peace. But I think it's very, very important. And I've watched your show a lot.
All right, I know I'm a jerk. I always hop in. All right, so if you live on a street, why would you want the two biggest kids on the street that have rocket launchers that live on both ends of the street? Why in the world would anybody want to literally go poke at one and say, hey, they're doing that, or they're saying this, and then go poke at the other one and say this or that, when you live in the middle of the two biggest kids with the two biggest rocket launchers in the world at each end of your street, and you're gonna go poke? What do you have? What? Oh, cat's coughing. Sorry. Like, what? Seriously? You all right, Oh, he's all right. So, what do you have? You think that you've built a bunker that's so safe, that is so down underground, that you can watch the world burn? I mean, who in the hell picks on the two biggest bullies with rocket launchers that have unlimited rounds and want them to start firing it at each other when they both live on each end of the street and you live in the middle? It is fucking insanity. And this is what we live in, and this is where we're at. I mean, it is pure freaking insanity. And the saddest part is, a lot of people are waking up. And, I know I've said this before. I mean, seriously, like, people always try to say that Lincoln was the greatest president. That motherfucker in many statements said, I will do whatever I have to do, whether it abolishes slavery, this, that, or anything. I'll do whatever it takes to win. The greatest president that we ever had was George Washington. Whether you want to say he owned slaves, this, that, or the other thing. You want to know why he is the greatest president? Because more than half of his cabinet and his military behind him, which would have definitely went along with it, they cried. They wanted him to literally put a crown on and crown himself king of America. He would not do that. That is our greatest president, not Lincoln. Lincoln did not do anything that he did to free the slaves. That was something that just ended up coming out of what happened. But that was not what anybody fought for. And what people don't realize too, there were a lot of black men that had slaves in the South that fought for the South. And another thing a lot of people won't tell you is just Irish. There was more Irish slaves than there was ever black slaves. And that's just Irish. Do you not know of indentured and slavery? Of where you have to come work for 7 years, 12 years, whatever it is. And they weren't all just like that. And did you know even a black slave went for more money than a white slave because they considered black slaves were better and were easier to control. So that's the funniest thing is when you want to talk slavery. All right, well, there was more white slaves, and let alone they got sold for less, so they were treated as less. Black slaves were treated better than white slaves. Nobody wants to talk about that, do they? The establishment just wants wars to continue making themselves wealthy. Yeah, no, it is. That's what it's all about. The industrial or the freaking military industrial corporations, all that bullshit. Yes. All right, let's finish this shit up real quick, and then it looks like you guys are starting to get some tongues on you. Maybe we can start getting some good conversation.
Talking about the magnificent size of China. You look at the size and what they've done in a fairly short period of time. That's because of a lot of bad leadership on behalf of the United States. We allowed that to happen. We allowed them to make hundreds of billions of dollars. And right now, as you see, and you probably have noticed, that things are happening. We have to bring it more into line. We have to level the playing field.
No, oh God. See, yeah, you say some shit like that, and how am I not going to comment? No, and that's what we don't realize. Like, our ancestors went to war because of 1% tax. That was a flat freaking tax. Now we get freaking hit, 20 here, 30 here, this, that here, and then you go buy something and it's another 7 or 8%. And then, cigarette sales tax, we're being taxed over 50%, and our ancestors stood up and fought because of a 1% tax. They are rolling over in their graves. We are slaves. The biggest lie ever told is that we are the land of freedom. Yes, we might be a lot more free than others, but we aren't the land of freedom. We are enslaved, and we don't even see it. What is the best way to think about it? If you cage up a whole bunch of wild buffalo, and they learn this, you cage up a whole bunch of wild buffalo, and if they can ever kind of find the fences, they'll kind of mess with it a little bit if it's too enclosed. If you make it big enough and they ever find it, they will actually not give two craps. But if it's small enough and they find it, they will mess with it. But if it's big enough and they find it, they don't care. Well, humans are a little bit different. Why do you think there's the Antarctica Treaty? You ever watched or read the book World Beyond the Poles? Okay, this is just a book. It is like a $500 or $600 book to buy, even if it's not in good condition. Do you understand that? That's how you want to know why? Because it is a book that tells you everything. Almost just kind of like the book of Enoch that they took out of the Bible, which when, lots of us have read the Bible, have a hard time understanding it, and then you read the book of Enoch that was in the Bible that they took out, all of a sudden you can understand the dang Bible. Imagine that. Imagine that. Bill Clinton, 11 letters. Wait. Bill Clinton, 11 letters. George W. Bush, 11 letters. Barack Obama, 11 letters. Donald Trump, 11 letters too. I never knew that. They all play with us. 9/11. At least Trump did come out, like, even right in the beginning. He was like one of the only people that was able to come out about 9/11 and saying that looked like demolitions, this or that didn't get killed. Because anybody that was at ground zero that admitted to any of that, their asses were dead within weeks, months, or within a year. Like, they were they were dead. So he is one of the only ones that was able to come out and talk about it that didn't die. You got to understand, these people are all factions, and they are the controllers of the world, and they are the bloodlines, or they think they're the bloodlines, this, that, the other thing. But the main thing is, they're almost like the mafia. before we were talked about that the mafia, melded in one and they had like a supreme leader, something like that, kind of like this, that. Well, what we have controlling us is a little bit like that or completely like that. And to say that there is, we have the 1% of the 1% that are controlling us, but what's even higher than that is the 1% of that 1% is really what is controlling us. And we'll never see them in public life. We will never see anything of them. We will never know anything of them, but they still are the ones that are controlling us. The only thing that I hope, or not that I hope, but that I see, is in the factions that are controlling us right now. They're still doing what they're doing, but I think there are some factions that really aren't as satanic and horrible. But there are many things that, make you scary. Jared Kushner, he does own a building that is numbered 666. Don't think that hasn't escaped me. I mean, there is crazy shit. All right, let's finish this up and then we'll get going. Wow, you have wise followers that I have tried. No, I see, and it is funny because I do sometimes wish that I had more people following this, but what I want to do is really get my computer figured out to where I can have you guys, the ones that I, appreciate and like the most, and have us on like this on the computer to where everybody has their little box or whatever, and, everybody can talk to where we can actually get a real conversation going on of what's going on. We can look at videos, we can this, that, the other thing, but get a real conversation on because, I know that the most important thing isn't how many people that are here watching, it's who's here watching. But still, I do think that it would be really nice to do something like that to where we could get some more people here and actually have a real good conversation going on. But more than anything, I love you guys for being here, and you guys mean more to me than it would be to have 4,000 just whatever's here, 100%. So I just want to tell you, I love you all, and I appreciate you for being here. Let's finish up this video really quick, and then we can get into some dialogue if you guys want before I start the next one. All right.
Increased our net worth. We've increased our worth by more than $7 trillion since the election. And we're about twice the size of China, our economy. But China still is a massive economy. They have the second biggest by far.
So, NATO was created chiefly to prevent the Russians from invading Western Europe. I think you don't believe Western Europe's at risk of being invaded by Russia right now. So what is the purpose of NATO right now?
Well, that was the purpose. And It's okay. It's fine. But they have to pay. And they weren't paying. And other presidents went and they'd make a speech and then they'd leave and nothing would happen. And, the fact that they didn't pay is not, new. It's not a new fact. This is something that people have known for a long time. Other countries were delinquent. In the real estate business, we use the word delinquent. They didn't pay. They didn't pay for past. So I went there 3-4 days ago and I said, folks, you got to pay because we're not going to pay from 70 to 90. And I think 90 is really the right, depending on the way you define it, 90%. We're not going to pay 90% of the cost to defend. And on top of that, the European Union kills us on trade. We lost $151 billion last year on trade. They don't take our product. They don't take our farmers' beautiful goods. They don't take our cars. And if they do, the rate of tax is many times what we would charge them. We only charge them 2.5%. Their tariff is very substantially higher. I mean, in the case of China, we charge 2.5% when they send a car, and when we send a car into China, they charge us 25%. How is that fair?
Some of our tariffs are 275%.
Tariffs, but how is that fair? When one country gets 25% and another country gets 2.5%. And by the way, the one getting 25 doesn't even want the cars. They want them to build those factories. They want those factories built in China. They want those factories built in Europe.
Thank you so much for being here.
So now we're doing things that have never been done before in this country, and you see what's going on. It's been very pleasant to watch.
Membership in NATO obligates the members to defend any other member that's attacked. So let's say Montenegro, which joined last year, is attacked. Why should my son go to Montenegro to defend it from attack? Why is that?
I understand what you're saying. I've asked the same question. Montenegro is a tiny country with
I'm sorry. I like, I really like. I'm so disappointed at Fox News today on all of this crap. So disappointed. But you know what's funny is when you have 90% of the people acting like fools, but it only accounts for about 50%. Because seriously, 25% and 25% of Fox News is literally Tucker and Carlson. Or no, Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. Sorry. They are the other 50%, and they are the real, like, they are who people really listen to. The other part is kind of like the slow unbrainwashing of the lefts, like the Me Too or Walk Away movement, stuff like that are finally coming and slowly starting to open their brains. But what is so funny is what I'm noticing that Fox News is doing is they're dumbing their shit down to a little bit being Trump bashers, so that the ones that are coming over to start to watch, they might actually be able to hold on to those viewers and then maybe slowly, integrate them, to a point. I mean, think about it. It's like we all think that we're free and we're not. And we all heard about these FEMA camps, but hey, maybe this whole world is a big fucking FEMA camp. You ever think about that? We think we're free, but we're really not. It's amazing. Now, let's finish this video. Look at me getting all cray, aren't we? All right, here we go. No, but it is funny because if you actually think of, not to say any of us truly know what anything or what this reality truly is, but we all have some pretty good damn theories, and I have more than one. I got more than a handful, and most of them are pretty fucking disturbing. I don't know. How about you? Would love to hear what you have to say in the comments.
Very strong people.
Yeah, I'm not against
Right.
or Albania.
No, by the way, they're very strong people. They're very aggressive people. They may get aggressive, and congratulations, you're in World War III. Now, I understand that, but that's the way it was set up. Don't forget, I just got here a little more than a year and a half ago. Right. But I took over the conversation 3 or 4 days ago, and I said, you have to pay. You have to pay. And the Secretary General said that because of President Trump, last year we had an additional $44 billion, with a B, $1 billion.
And I get that. I do. You consider he's just controlled opposition or deception, whatever the hell. No, I get that, because I think if Hillary would have won, I think everybody really knew that she wasn't supposed to be the winner or whatever. I think that would have actually been the beginning of an actual civil war if Hillary would have won. I really do. Because, anybody with what's sad is, though, most people don't have a half a brain to figure anything out. But, you look at Hillary Clinton rallies and they bring, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these crazy ass, rap stars that, all the youth is supposed to love. And they literally give them a platform to play their music and don't even charge. And they can't even get the crowd that Trump does. I mean, Trump was getting the crowds that, there'd be 1,000 or 10,000 people standing outside. They couldn't even get in, still sitting out there happy as fuck just that they were there and got to see him drive by. Like, and we already know that how many freaking counties that, you had dead people. You literally had, little counties and shit like this of where as many people as have ever lived there voted. That means generations and generations of dead people voted. And nobody wants to talk about that. And that's what's most disturbing about a lot of this shit is nobody wants to freaking talk about it. And if we don't start talking about it and pushing it out there, we're stuck, man. We're fucked. And I really think they're about 2.5 seconds from actually killing Trump. And, you know, I know Trump is like 18 or 19 cousins from fucking Hillary, this, that, or the other thing, but I just hope that it's just like anything. Families, this, that, whatever, there's infighting. And I'd rather have Trump be the one that was leading us out of all these dirt balls compared to Hillary. But the time is coming, and I know this shit is written, but I think God gives a reprieve. And I really think that, you know, everybody says, you know, we're the body of Christ, and we're waiting for Christ to come back. So if we're waiting for Christ to come back, and we are the body of Christ, is it not in us to fight? Is it not within us? See, I don't know what it will be when Christ comes back. I don't know what it will be when Jesus comes back. I don't know what it will be when God comes here. I have no idea. But the one thing that always sticks into me, that we are the body of Christ. And when you start looking at molecular levels and how many different things work inside of a system to make a cell live, and then how many cells work inside of another system to make something else live, and then you start realizing that, and it's like, if we're the body of Christ, and Christ, is it not inside of us that we are supposed to actually step up, stand up, and do something and be Christ? We are the body of Christ. If we are the body of Christ, why are we not standing up and doing what we're waiting for Christ to come back and do? Because I think we're really messed up on this. Man, I have not been able to get through this 10-minute fucking video, have I? Pardon my French. If we are the body of Christ, you know, like, why are we not standing up as Christ and doing what needs to be done? Slamming over the money changers' table, saying, no, I will not take this, I will not do this. Because we're going to have to do it soon. Because, you know, the chip is coming. And what scares me is, like, I already feel that we have the mark of the beast, just because, you know, you look on any of your dollar bills, there are guys that do great videos on it where they can fold them up and they can show every natural or every disaster and terrorist attack on the bills that they've made. If you learned anything, you know, the reason that Lincoln was actually freaking assassinated and killed wasn't because he freed the slaves. It's because of what he did to our money. We're on a gold standard. We're on a silver standard. He changed all that shit because he needed to be able to print paperbacks to fund his war. You know, a lot of things, you know, people don't realize, you know, a lot of these presidents that we look up to a lot actually, you know, completely went against what our founding fathers built for us. And, you know, and they're looked up as for this thing that they didn't even plan on doing. I mean, the last thing he planned on doing was releasing the slaves. That was the last thing that he ever planned on doing. And hey, good thing. I'm glad that he did. No man should ever own another man. That is not fair. But it is amazing that, you know, when to change their history, they do this, that, and the other thing. But what they seem to keep forgetting to admit to is the Democrats are the ones that had Jim Crow laws. The Democrats are the ones that freaking didn't want to abolish slavery, this, that, the other thing, all that. It's all Democrats, but you see how everything is turned upside down. It says this in the Bible. Everything will be backwards. Everything will be upside down. I mean, you got to understand, supposedly, if it was, you know, Republicans, all this, you would imagine it was the South that said, no, I will not deal with your bullshit, da da da. And it was the North that literally was like, no, we're going to come down and you're going to have to pay our taxes and do this, that. I'll look it up, but whatever. And it changes, and all of a sudden it's like, you know, the red was the hillbilly hicks that were, you know, pro-slavery and keeping the black man down. And now all of a sudden there's this switch, because it's like, no, the South and people like that are actually the ones that are trying to promote them and let them move forward and be good. As, you know, the Northerners are sitting there saying, oh, you poor thing, there's racism. There's this and there's that. Oh, you poor thing, let me give you free money. Let me keep giving you free money for generations. And then you'll vote for me. it's like it's insanity. It's like, and nobody sees it. But no, there are lots of lots of people waking up to it, especially a lot of awesome. See, I don't like to call anybody a Mexican American or a Black American, whatever. They're just American, and I hate African American. I think that is bullshit. Your fucking ass was born here. You're just a fucking American. I mean, if you want to call yourself an American black, okay. But like African American, no. You're born here. You're just an American. Our skin color does not matter. We bleed the same color. It's insanity, but hey, people are starting to wake up and thank God for that. All right, so politics are cancer. No, they are. They're crooked politics. Yes, they are cancer that is eating us. I thought you asked me if I wanted some more people here following me. Where are they at, man? It's really and okay. Universe is. No, well, what I laugh about is, I mean, we are the center of the universe, and the universe, I don't know what the fucking universe is. It sure in the hell isn't what fucking NASA tells us. That's the biggest cross shit I ever fucking heard. I do not live on a spinning wet ball rocket, you lying motherfucker. And the North Star is always in the same place, and you're telling me I'm on a tilt going through a Milky Way galaxy that's going how motherfucking fast? I don't fucking think so, man. I think somebody needs to make a song about that. That'd be awesome. It is just insanity. And I'm sure anybody that's still here, anybody that's still listening, I know you go through the same shit with the people that you fucking love. They will just not. They think you're insane. And it's like, one thing I've noticed about people like us, and it's weird because we don't meet too many people like us in real life. And when we do, it's like you just caught that, that imaginary fucking creature or something. You're like, whoa. What's crazy is there's a lot more of us out there than most people will admit. And that's what's scary and what sucks is they're willing to keep their heads down. We're not supposed to keep our heads down, And Jesus, the night before he died, he said, any one of you that does not have a sword, sell thy cloak and buy a sword. The day before he was crucified. Because he knew he would be crucified. He was fine with that, but he wanted to make sure they were protected. The Father, Jesus, whatever you want to say, Yahweh, Yeshua, whatever you want to say, he did not tell us to lay down our sword, my brothers and sisters. He told us to pick it up. Never forget that. And we've all been lukewarm Christians. We know that. I think we need to rise up a little bit more and stop being so lukewarm. That's just my opinion. I guess we can finish watching this video for who's still here. Apologize. Got off on a rant. No, did I not? Alright. I'm kind of over this, actually. I want to hit something else.
Yesterday, we asked the president about this, along with many other issues. Tonight, we're running fewer commercials and
That's not it.
All right, he's back with us. He's the host of CRTV's Levin TV, the host of Life, Liberty,
Ay. No, I got a couple of good ones of those, but that's not what I'm trying to hit for right now. What the fuck? This is what I get. Oh, wow. Lost everybody.
What can you do in 30 days? At National University, we've a lot. That's
1 second.
Going to be a target if you believe this. This is what I believe. I believe that we are.
Sorry, guys. Give me a second.
Wow, that's a lot of nobodies. Newsflash, not all refugees are welcome here.
This is just another moment in this presidency where I thank God he's the president of the United States and Hillary Clinton is not.
Almost 8,000 black people are murdered every year in this country. And it's not by cops, it's by other black people.
Actually, you know what's a hot outfit for a man to wear?
I'm gonna go for this.
T-shirt and black socks. And you're just
Gavin McInnes is greatest.
Spaghetti stains.
No, there was supposed to be something other one I wanted. Yeah, he gets pretty fucking funny and crazy on that. That might not be the right thing for this post.
All right, he's back with us. He's the host of CRTV's Levin TV, the host of Life, Liberty, and Levin, the #1 show, Sunday nights, 10 Eastern, right here on Fox. I call him the Great One, Mark Levin. So I said at the beginning of the show, we have now witnessed the single worst 24 hours in the history of the mainstream media, which is saying a lot because we know how corrupt they are. Reaction.
Well, you know, Sean, what we've learned about the media, several of the hosts and guests, is we have a lot of psychopaths out there, that's for sure.
Okay, how do you really feel?
Well, comparing the president's conference with Putin to Pearl Harbor, 9/11, Kristallnacht, the beginning of the Holocaust, calling him a traitor, treasonous. You know, 2 weeks ago, they said he was running Japanese internment camps and Nazi concentration camps. This is the pseudo-media. And now it comes to Russia. Now the liberals, the media, the Democrats, some Republicans, very upset about Russia. You know, they've had more positions on Russia than Stormy Daniels, as far as I'm concerned. Let me point out some history. This is very,
He just said that.
John McCain, God bless him, and others have said that what Trump did at that press conference is the worst interaction we've ever had with Russia, the worst diplomatic disaster ever. I want the American people, forget about the media, I want you to know something. 1945 at the Yalta Conference, Franklin Roosevelt sold out half of Europe to Stalin. He repeatedly praised Stalin. Franklin Roosevelt is the hero of the Democrat Party. He of Japanese internment camps too. In Yalta, he gave up half of Europe to the Soviet Union. In 1961, JFK met with Khrushchev. JFK told a friend of his that he was rolled over, that he came across weak, that it was pretty disastrous, his meeting with Khrushchev. And a few weeks later, what do? The Soviets are shipping missiles to Cuba, and they're building a wall in Berlin. In 1975, Gerald Ford in Helsinki with Brezhnev, 35 other countries, recognized the territorial sovereignty of the Soviet Union, which included the captive nations of Eastern Europe. In 1979, Jimmy Carter placed a big wet kiss on Brezhnev's cheek in Vienna. All this hysteria about this press conference. The president said, look, I could have said it better, I should have said this, and they act like it's the apocalypse. It's not. The left in this country has defended the Rosenbergs. They defended Alger Hiss. They defended Ted Kennedy in 1983 and 4 when he was colluding with the Kremlin to defeat Reagan. The left, the Democrats, the media in this country opposed SDI, the Strategic Defense Initiative, which had as its purpose to defend us against Russian nuclear missiles. They called it Star Wars to this day.
Ditch me, I see how it is. No, freaking go make your video, brother. No. Thank you so much for being here. Glad you were here. But yeah, the rest of this video, which I'm sure you already freaking know about, I'm sure you're going to call out on a lot of stuff. Yeah, no, thank you guys for being here. I'm just going to finish this and then get back into talking. Thanks for being here, guys.
The left won't fund it. To this day, the Democrat Party opposes it. They opposed its Pershing II missiles to modernize medium-range nuclear missiles, which he eventually put in Europe, again to defeat the Soviet Union. So the left goes back and forth, the Democrats. If, in fact, Donald Trump had turned to Putin, after a 2-hour private meeting, after setting up this summit, and all of a sudden in public turns to Putin and says, look, you little bastard, we know you interfered in our election. They would be attacking Trump today. But Trump turned to the Germans and said, hey, you're buying 70% of your natural gas from the Ruskies. You're funding their war machine, and then you ask us to subsidize you? The media and the Democrats and the same people went nuts. But some more facts. Obama's president. Obama did nothing effective at all to stop the Russians' interference in our election. He's the one who ought to be under investigation. No pushback for the invasion of Georgia. No pushback for the annexation
of I'm sure you did,
Crimea. No pushback for the invasion of eastern Ukraine. No pushback from Russia's criminal shoot-down.
Yeah, sorry guys, but yeah, no, I'm sure you have. You find some good shit to yell about. I gotta get my computer figured out and start doing this shit right. But yeah. Alright, brother.
A flight MH17. He capitulated to Russia and Syria. The unmet red lines, his betrayal of Poland and the Czech Republic by acceding to Russia's demand to remove U.S. missile defense systems there. He betrayed the Ukraine by refusing to provide them with defensive weapons. Now, contrast that disaster, that utter appeasement, to what Trump has done in 18 months. He's expanded sanctions on Russian companies and apparatchiks. He's expanded and beefed up NATO. He's had a massive increase in U.S. defense spending, no thanks to the liberals, restoring missile defenses to Poland and the Czech Republic, returning heavy armored divisions to Germany, pre-positioning armed brigades in the Baltics, ending arms embargoes on Ukraine and Georgia that Obama imposed on victims of Russian aggression, ending the ban of oil exports to try and compete with the Russians when it comes to their oil. And I could go on and on and on this. These are notes I had typed out on this. So all this hysteria. The fact of the matter is Trump hasn't done a thing to harm America with respect to Russia, and Obama did nothing to protect America when it came to Russia. The same attitude Obama had when it came to the Chinese in the South China Sea building their phony islands. The North Koreans, as they're building their nukes, the Iranians, he gave them $150 billion and a wet kiss on the lips. So the attacks on Trump, this overwrought, hysterical...
I don't know. Usually I pretty much keep going if I want to get all my videos out there. But I definitely stop videos a lot less if there's no viewers. But I thought you were the one that asked me if I wanted more viewers. But, alright, we'll get back to it.
Insane attack by the media, the Democrats, some in the Republican Party, and some phony conservatives. It's okay.
Let me ask you this.
You're allowed to question a president. Just don't go nuts.
No, they can't help themselves because their narrative, look, you can't see this without seeing it through the prism of 2018. It's now because they can't run on the economy anymore. They're telling Maxine and others to be quiet about impeaching. They want open borders. They want Obamacare. They want their crumbs back. And now they're kind of desperate because the Mueller investigation hasn't brought them what they wanted in 18 months. But we have had Russia collusion, and as much as Russian lies were paid for and disseminated to the American people about Donald Trump in a presidential election, and they were used to get a warrant in a presidential election against the Trump campaign. That seems to me like a pretty important factor that they don't report on, Mark.
Bottom line is, two entities interfered in our election. The Russians and the Obama administration. The Democrats defend the Obama administration, and all of a sudden they don't like the Russians, who they've been kowtowing to since 1917.
Yeah, you know what? That's why we call you the Great One.
All right, so let's get into this. I really look at a lot of this shit as, you know, it's been written, this, that, the other thing. I always think that it is hilarious. You know, everybody tries to think that, oh, well, we're in the end times, we're this, we're that. Anybody that's been listening to me enough, they know I don't think apocalypse or any of that shit is everything being destroyed. It is actually the Great Awakening, the Great Understanding. And I think that's what's coming. And you have the people that have been ruling and hiding and doing all this evil ass shit that are so afraid of what's coming. But at the same time, it seems like they're bringing it. And it's because they've been fighting and being so deceitful and doing the just horrible shit that they've done, that they've done nothing but have to backpedal from the beginning because they've been nothing but crooked. And this is what we're dealing with, and this is what's coming down. This is the shit that got Kennedy killed. Flat out. So, it scares me a little bit for Trump. But, hey, it could all be controlled opposition. All deception. I'll not deny that, but it is a scary proposition to actually think about. Because we really have no idea who the hell would take control if somehow he was assassinated. Would it be the deep state that hates us? Or would it be the people that have been trying to make our country great again? Yeah, that's something that changed everything. And they just showed an algorithm. Who did they do it on? They did it on Breitbart and somebody else. Did on a couple decent things, and they just cut off their feed. And, you know, imagine if Trump is assassinated and they can just cut off the feed for a couple hours or a half a day to anybody wanting to research that shit. What would that mean? That would mean they would have a whole bunch of time to... It's just nuts. It's nuts. All right. Well, I'm pretty much getting freaking over this, so I think I have one more video I wanted to show you, and there we go.
Yesterday, we asked the president about this, along with many other issues. Tonight, we're running fewer commercials and airing our extended interview with the president. Here's part one of that conversation. Mr. President, thanks for doing this.
Thank you. All right, he's back with us. He's the host of CRTV's Levin TV, the host of Life, Liberty, Levin.
What the heck, man? I already went over that one. Alright. Yeah, I think you guys have been wearing me down about freaking 5 damn nights in a row.
About this, along with many other issues. Tonight we're running fewer commercials and airing our extended interview with the president. Here's part one of that conversation.
I don't care. I'm gonna go with this one. You know what? Time to laugh. I'm gonna go with this
You know
one.
what's a hot outfit for a man to wear in bed is a white t-shirt and black socks. And you're just like, I'm such an ugly pig.
You're gonna laugh.
Man. Spaghetti stains.
Enjoy.
I'm just like such a dad. That's like my buddy Dan goes, smelling a woman's ass is a poor man's Viagra. Because
It's weird. I don't agree with that one.
And you're like, I'm a fucking pig. And then,
I think that's about as raunchy as it gets.
People always say, don't get in the weeds with Crowder or Shapiro. They will destroy you. And I always say, screw that. I'm not scared of Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro. Because
I would hope not.
And if Hillary wins, I know on a personal level, I'm going to go from a funny guy in a Hawaiian shirt to a dark, satanic, evil dude who lives alone in a one-bedroom. I wake up at 8 p.m. and do sit-ups and then just start practicing at the gun range. It's going to go dark.
We're in a weird era where it's like a philosophy age. We're all Romans all of a sudden. Like Socrates sitting here philosophizing. And you kind of have to make everyone know exactly where you stand on this spectrum. Because if you're slightly right of center, you're all right and you're in the
Yeah.
You go, no, those guys hate me. But I hate these guys, so I'm here.
Hold on.
So he wants genocide. Trump wants genocide. Okay, so he wants to kill what? Blacks and Mexicans. So there's a van that drives to this house in New Orleans and picks up these black people, and then they what? They go to a gas chamber? How does this work? What happens to their property? Is that divvied up? Does the state own that now? Like, are you talking about the Cuban Revolution? The irony is, by the way, whenever you start describing their universe, you end up describing Venezuela, Cuba, socialist countries, or you end up describing the Middle East.
I'm sorry, I'm trying.
He's gonna start stoning women to death who were rape victims. You have your villains right there, but you're purposely ignoring them. You know, Iron Man has that thing in his chest. I don't think women are evil. Women are like Iron Man. They're magic, right? But by ripping out that blue thing, you're ripping out their ability to have children and be mothers and everything, and then you put in a piece of shit. That's what feminists and like this woman are. They're shit chests. And they're malfunctioning robots, and they're like, kill him. Milo wants genocide.
Okay, we're gonna have to restart.
That's the problem with their utopia. It keeps making things.
We have to go back. All right, sorry.
And I always say to these people, play it through. So he wants genocide. Trump wants genocide. Okay, so he wants to kill what? Blacks and Mexicans. So there's a van drives to this house in New Orleans and picks up these black people, and then they what? They go to a gas chamber? How does this work? What happens to their property? Is that divvied up? Does the state own that now? Like, are you talking about the Cuban Revolution? The irony is, by the way, whenever you start describing their universe, you end up describing Venezuela, Cuba, socialist countries, or you end up describing the Middle East. Oh, he's going to what? Throw gays off buildings? He's going to start stoning women to death who were rape victims? You have your villains right there, but you're purposely ignoring them. You know, Iron Man has that blue thing in his chest? Yeah. I don't think women are evil. Women are like Iron Man. They're magic, right? But by ripping out that blue thing, you're ripping out their ability to have children and be mothers and everything. And then you put in a piece of shit into Iron Man's chest. That's what feminists and like this woman are. They're shit chests. And they're malfunctioning robots, and they're like, kill him. Milo wants genocide. Kill him. So do you think that and that's the problem with their utopia. It keeps making things worse and worse and worse for them. Yes. Like even abortion and immigration in Canada now, they're pouring all these Indians in like pancake batter. And Indians prefer to have boys than girls. And they're starting to have gender-based abortions where they go,
hey, thanks for being here, love.
I mean, a girl hanging around here. Let's keep aborting till we get a boy. And you go, hey, liberals. Is that real?
Just wanna.
Like when I would go to my old company.
We've been going through a whole bunch of stuff, so I thought this would be funny to have something to make us laugh. And if you have half of a brain, and yeah, it's working. Most of this will be funny, so
with my buddy
love
Sebastian,
to conversate still.
Man, much younger than me, looks like a Greek god. And we would be looking in the mirror, you know, at the hotel. We're getting ready, and he would go, "Look at you, look at you. You look like a raisin. You look like you're a million years old. Look at those feet. And you look like a worm who was rubbed around on the floor of a barber shop." And then he goes, "And look at me, a Greek. I'm an Adonis. Look at this." And it's funny because it's true. You know, I don't go on a blog and start crying. That's how we insult each other. I know. We had a guy in high school who had mental illness. He was schizophrenic. He went in and out of mental institutions. His nickname was Crazy Ryan. Did he ever recover? I don't think so. No.
Well, tell your daughter I said hi
he
too.
Now and stuff. He wanted to kill me because
I'm glad. Hopefully you like my work.
So I'm sure he's gonna be back in my life very soon. Lock the door. There's this myth that they hate us because of our foreign policy or something. They hate us because we're infidels, and the Quran says destroy all infidels. Who's harder on Muslims than Muslims? They're totally insatiable. I mean, you can have a burqa on in Saudi Arabia, and some guy's going to come up and go, "Really? Purple socks? Are you kidding me?" He was the first to make it a central political argument. This whole thing, build a wall, build a wall. And by the way, it's not a pipe dream. They owe us $50 billion in trade deficit. When you go to a restaurant and you sit in the same booth to the tune of $50 billion net for that restaurant, you could start asking for stuff. You could start asking for a diamond booth with naked ladies dancing on it.
Yeah, I think business-wise, people are completely misestimating the leverage that we would have on Mexico.
Oh.
They said, nope, we're not going to do.
Oh, you mean the hell vid that I did? Well, you think, I don't know how old she is, but is she old enough that you think it's okay for her to see? I know mine isn't completely scary and crazy. 19. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, show it to her. Definitely show it to her. Just wanted to make sure, you know, it wasn't some kid that was not even a teenager. Yeah, no, definitely show it to her. Really appreciate you watching, which is really funny because we all know that it's not anything big, but I laugh because I know my message obviously means something if YouTube has messed with me like they have. So I realize, you know, whatever it is, the reason that the people that are here, they're here for a reason, and that matters a lot to me, more than anything else. What do you think about gang stalking? I know it's not even on your channel. Button on gang stalking. Wait, what do you mean by my daughter has been looking up gang stalking and she's the one who wait, lol, don't you frozen? Do you frozen? If you mean does my stuff freeze? No, whenever I'm looking at something that is like really good content, that is something that is what I'm searching to find. And which is funny, even InfoWars is one of the worst ones that it hits me on constantly. But other ones, I will be on channels or I'll be on videos, and there are some that they don't want you to see. Gang stalking, yes, I feel I've been hit. I've even actually made videos about me feeling like I've been hit. It was, I mean, as a kid, when I knew that there was never a possibility of that, I would imagine happening then. I never even had feelings that bad, and I had reason to. So, things that I've ended up feeling from, and gang stalking sounds fucking completely nuts. I'll never deny that, but I kind of have a feeling that there might be something to it, but who knows? I might just be crazy. Daughter has been looking up gang stalking, and she's very interested and very away by it. What do you think? There's so much documents of this really happening, and you know, the thing is, you know, the stuff that comes out from the CIA, the FBI, they don't give this shit out till 30, 40 years later, 50 years later. I mean, come on, Trump just did the JFK documents, what, less than a year ago? Look how long ago that happened. You know, that's why they don't care about what they do, and that's why they seal them for so long, because by the time that you could actually go after somebody, they're gonna be most likely dead or not give two shits. And, you know, that's kind of what we deal with, and it sucks balls. Pardon my French. She went to rehab, and she had friends, had an almost friend that they used to fuck, and to sound just like. She went to rehab, and she had a friend, an almost friend they used to fuck with, and it sounded just like what? Alright, here we go. What the freak, man? Alright, what you guys got? Don't get freaking boring on me, or I'll leave. Just like you can. Alright, here we go.
Do it. And if he says no, what are you going to do? They're already poor as dirt. Are you going to harm their credit rating? Go to war with Mexico? I don't know how you do it.
You deny them $50 billion in trade.
Say, okay, I think they'd sooner go with that than pay for a wall.
Good. Thank you, God. That would be wonderful. Now we have manufacturing back here. Okay, so that's.
I saw a guy. We were on Jamaica on vacation, and it was an all-you-can-eat thing. And he had his plate, and he must have been Irish. He piled on 3 huge spoonfuls of mashed potatoes. It took up most of his plate. And I'm looking at him going, we're in fucking Jamaica. There's jerk chicken, all this fancy shit, and you're using up your whole
Hello.
mashed potatoes. That bothers you, Mick? And I hated him for the rest of the trip.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put some comedy in this.
See him and he'd just be like,
Anybody wants to get down, throw it.
Dr. Drew says this. He goes, the reason that Scots are
Trying to laugh.
they like conflict, so they'll put a war in their body. So they're going, oh, walking is hard. I'm giving myself a handicap. So we like struggle. We like pain.
That's fascinating.
Even in fucking, I'm totally enjoying it. I'm always like, I gotta last longer. Think of Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
What do you think of? When do you think of Kevin?
This is way before this shit came out on him.
You're gonna call me tomorrow and go, thank you so much. My wife can't walk today. Imagine Kevin Spacey's head floating over the bed. Okay, not like dismembered and bleeding, just like his face doing nothing, just
staring at
you, and it buys you 2.5 minutes.
Do you imagine him as Kaiser Soze or as Frank Underwood?
I don't have strong feelings about him. Like, I've never seen that House of Lies show or House of Cards.
Good show.
Okay, sounds
Very
great.
good show.
New York College Republicans invited me to.
Sorry, I just figured we needed to laugh.
Racist Nazi. We don't want the KKK. Like, the KKK, really? That'd be funny if we just showed up on horses in Klansman uniforms, like ka-dum, 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 ka-dum. Yeah, we're here to do our KKK talk, boy. Anyway, so we get there, and I'm with Proud Boys. We're surrounded. Everyone's going, fuck you, yeah. And in retrospect, I should have just started snapping fingers and macing people. I regret not playing their dirty tricks, because when we finally got to the door, someone pepper sprayed me in the eyes, which is very, very painful.
Fuck yes, it is.
It's a wake-up call.
Oh, it hurts.
It only lasts for about 20 minutes, and I went into the bathroom after. I'm sort of jumping ahead in the story, and I was washing my eyes out, and I thought, how do I know it's not acid? Like, what if I'm gonna be...
Alright. Well, throw down exactly what you want to talk about that conversation. I've been just trying to drown out and laugh. But throw down what you want, and, like, give me a description of what you want, and we'll go right on to that.
Just figured now, and I'll be on the cover of National Geographic, like the face of free speech. And I'll be that guy forever, like the guy. I feel like burn victims are super nice, you know? I'll be like with a puppy and a little kid. Hi, I'm a regular guy. My theory with Milo is I think his eyesight's getting worse. His glasses are getting thicker and thicker, and he's sort of going, this is my moment to make an impact. So he's just like...
Well, you think he's going blind?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, are you just theorizing this?
Yeah.
He's only like 28.
Yeah.
But you look at him, he
Look
just
at his
can't
reading
read
glasses.
that good.
They're insane.
Really?
Yeah, and they're getting thicker. But I think he's trying to make a maximum impact in a short amount of time.
Because you think he doesn't have much time left? That's such a way. He seems healthy.
He
Last
also
time I saw
seems
him, he
totally
lost some
reckless.
weight.
In fact, when we were in Orlando, we made out at the site of the...
You guys made out?
Yeah, at the
Why'd
site
you
of the
make out
Orlando...
with Milo?
To offend Muslims.
Wow.
So I said...
What was that
I did
like?
a big speech about freedom and
How'd
free
he
speech
taste?
in this America. Delicious. Like strawberries.
Well, at least he freshened his breath up before.
No, gays just taste better. I said fuck Islam, and then we made out at the site of the Orlando shooting to annoy Muslims. But we had armed guards and stuff, and I said, all right, I want to make sure these guys are scoping out the roofs and shit.
Yes.
And he goes, I don't care if I die. I'll happily die for this. I was like, well, I do care, actually.
Okay,
And then they just do that in New York.
what do you mean by the rush?
In front of the Trump building, like he's going to
And
go,
then...
holy, stop it, I'm evil, I can't
Trannies.
stand Gargamel from
Trainees.
the Smurfs, I hate that. He's putting his fist up in the air and he's saying, no way, immigration. And that is a wonderful thing, but no way, immigration, we are standing up for ourselves. Is that why they're not allowed?
They are if they sign off
Sorry.
on rape beforehand, I think.
No.
Women are not allowed
Sometimes
on
we
boats
just
back
gotta
in
laugh, right?
years ago.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
What boats? They're not pirate ships. I'm pretty sure
But I'm not.
there are some women who are raped on pirate ships. I
All
digress.
pirate ships are boats. All boats are not pirate ships. And this is the problem with Trump. All cats are mammals. All dogs are mammals. All cats are not dogs. Yes, some racists like him. That doesn't mean he's a racist. Well, they come up with this concept that the president is pro-hate. So then they go, hey, Trump, I'm against hate. And he goes, that's nice. So they build their straw man, and then they're attacking him and lighting him on fire. And the rest of us are going, I don't care that you're lighting a scarecrow on fire. You look fucking ridiculous. Sometimes he talks like an idiot. They're doing bad things. And then you realize 4 days later, holy shit, that was brilliant. So with the Mexicans thing, these Mexicans are rapists. You go, what? And then you look at that and go, holy shit, 80% of these women get raped crossing the border by these coyotes? Holy crap. And then another example of this, him being 4 steps ahead, is when he says, he's trying to do this travel ban, right? Muslims are a threat to America.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I thought I could keep it fucking humorous. But when I have you coming at me with this. Okay. The reason that I think they really go after the homeless is because the homeless have more time to not be brainwashed by the dumb box that we all have inside of our inside of our houses, the devil black screen, the screen that I'm using to actually okay. All right, let's get real. You know, this devil black screen that I'm using to communicate with you with. I decided to actually use his. I'm gonna finish this. Sorry, there's just so much. I somewhat read that for. All right, so let's do this. Okay, to left here. When I was in rehab, I met a guy, and he told me everything that pretty much happened to him, and it was just like what I looked up, and gang stalking, and I just wanted to know why they target the homeless. Okay, well, why they target the homeless is because nobody's going to believe a homeless person that is coming up and saying the government or somebody is messing with my head, and there's like things are being beamed into my head, this, that, the other thing. Nobody's going to believe a homeless person. That's why they're going after the homeless. People don't understand what 5G is. 5G is so strong that it only goes for a certain distance because it is so strong at radiating. That's why they're putting up all these little tiny cell phone towers that if nobody's been noticing, start looking up while you're driving. Yeah, you'd be like, whoa, what the hell's going on? They're putting us in a kill grid. I mean, this stuff is like microwaves. They can fry your eyeballs like they're freaking eggs. Nobody wants to admit it. It is literally a weapon. So that's one of the things that scares me, you know. The chemtrails have slowed down, but what I've noticed, I think they're using different chemicals that dissipate quicker, but I still see the clouds end up forming. You know, I'm like, why hasn't he stopped the freaking chemtrails? Why hasn't he stopped the fluoride? You know, trust me, like, I'm behind our president because I know it's the best thing that we could have ever had, considering the other side. But I do still sit here and go, well, why the fuck isn't this getting taken care of? And it scares the shit out of me. Probably got off topic. Okay. I just wanted to know, people, what this. I understand if you're not trying to talk about it. Okay, so I'm sorry. I used to. How about one more? Yeah, I can't say that. Like, I mean, but that wouldn't surprise me. But I can't say whether it matters with a woman, man, spirit, this, that, the other thing. No, I don't know. All right. I know I had some other stuff, but I didn't even transfer it onto this damn phone. We had something to go. Call good. I don't know what call good means. You mean call it? Nah. Let's finish laughing. And then if anybody else wants to get into some fucking crazy shit, pardon my French, I apologize. Just let me know, and we'll get into it. You know me. I'm always down for stopping shit.
Reporting on the following terrorism cases. This. He lists about 20. So then the media goes, that's not true. We reported on this. We reported on that. We reported on the London bombing. We reported on Benghazi. We reported on this. And then he duped them into talking about terrorism for 3 days straight.
Damn
All
right.
All of a sudden, his travel ban is pretty reasonable. Oh, that's
genius.
So he's often setting a trap for people that they come bounding into. Your parents got divorced, and I want you guys to come over to the Trump train, which is why I get so emotional. Your mom got divorced. She has a new boyfriend now, okay? He's your stepdad. And I know he's not your real dad. And you keep
This is
"You're
your
not my
daughter,
father,"
I
and
know.
storming upstairs and slamming the bedroom door. He's the best you got now. He's your dad. So you have to accept that and move on. I'm even annoyed reliving this story. And the guy says, just a lot of people that love you a lot, and I'm worried about you, man. Is that the worst quote you've ever heard? I'd appreciate it if you could apologise. I couldn't help but notice you were swearing in front of a lady. You're talking about it's important to make that distinction as a Western chauvinist, that I think the West is the best. I don't care what race you are. But I don't think that other cultures are different. I think they're worse. And Islam is 500 years behind us. We were shitty. We had witch hunts. Inquisition. We had the Inquisition. They're not caught up to us yet. They're not as advanced. And I think two big problems with them as far as progress goes is the Quran is an exceptionally violent book.
I have that book, yes. They think it's okay to rape
And
3-year-olds.
talks about this, but they have a major problem with inbreeding.
Yes, they
are
do.
marrying their first cousins again and again and again. And that makes your evolution go backward.
100%.
If you really think that sort of stuff occurs in a vacuum.
I do.
It does. Okay.
I think that foreign policy is a tiny fraction of their crazy inbred agenda.
Gavin, you're on a slippery slope.
Man, all good, not calling good.
I don't have to jump there. I'm talking about inbreeding.
People say apples and oranges.
Muhammad said you can.
All right, come on. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys got?
Pakistan and
Come on.
the Middle East. It's actually
Sound off.
because they do it to
Let's
preserve
get
the
some
family.
dialogue going, brothers and
Once or twice
sisters.
is not great. You do that for 40 generations, and it starts dictating the behavior of an entire group of people.
Yes.
Out of Islam, all Muslims, I've seen studies that say about 25% think that suicide bombing is sometimes or often justified. That's a lot of people.
What I was confronting
That
originally
is.
was, Gavin,
There's a
frankly, the
huge
point that you
genetic
made.
component to this, too.
Yeah, I think that
doesn't mean you have to apply eugenics to every single problem in the world.
Well, eugenics is bad science, so I'm glad that you wouldn't do that.
But we can say inbreeding is bad, and if it makes you feel more comfortable,
No, I'm willing
Yeah,
to take
that's
a
bad.
stand against
Indians
inbreeding with
and
you right
Muslims saying that no, you can't marry your first cousin. This is causing serious diseases. It's causing all kinds of health problems, and it's making a big portion of us nuts. Look at Iran in 1965. Mini skirts, women doing chemistry with test tubes.
They were.
walking around.
They were
Hi,
chill.
You want to go to the Go
Yeah.
Pop later?
No.
And now just garbage bags.
No, and that's what nobody wants to admit. I'm gonna hop in here, obviously. You know how I am. But no, that's what nobody wants to admit. Like when you're talking about 60s, 70s, and shit, and even into the 80s, Like, women had jobs, drove cars, smoked cigarettes. They were just like American women. And like he's saying, now look at them. They literally have to wear a full burqa. And hey, I'm not saying our system is perfect, this, that, or the other thing, but what is insane that people don't even get, and this is how you understand how insane the left is, they have these crazy ass women. I forget that one crazy Muslim chick, whatever the heck. But they're sitting there for women's rights, and it's like, no, you're not for women's rights. You're literally you support people that literally do suicide bombings, and you support people that literally want and to have women controlled by men, and their testimony is worth one and this, that, all this crazy shit. It's just insanity. All right, getting off topic now. All right. Zedek, what do you think about humans' relationships for finding a partner nowadays? Do you either feel true love from someone, or do you think that is getting ways that the one who are awake? Different situation about that. What's really funny to me is my awakening. I don't think I would have ever. Thank you. But no, I don't think I'd ever have come to the awakening that I'm in without being who I'm with right now. I decided to do what I do. I'm my own boss. I do whatever. I choose my own hours. I do whatever the heck. So I don't have to worry about all the crap of the world that can destroy you and hate you and bring you down because of your beliefs and this, that, or the other thing. And it's such a big question that I'm almost having a brain fart to even think about, to talk about it. All right. Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I was getting off. No, what I will imagine, what is nuts is when you understand and you believe and know what you know, and the people closest to you obviously don't seem to want to listen. And what's even worse is usually the one that is close to you that you love, they know who you are, and they knew who you were before you became to be awake. And if they truly know you and they see you and they trust you and they know your word, and that you're a truthful person, that you don't do bullshit, which who in the world wants to do bullshit to be called fucking a crazy person? Because I say I don't live on a spinning wet ball rocket. I didn't evolve from a monkey, this, that, and the other thing that's all wrong with everything that's going on. They know that you're right, but they're too scared to open their eyes, because I think that they know if they open their eyes that they're scared they'll be just how you are and how we are, because I can't shut up. I mean, there is almost not, and I don't do it with everything, but there is almost not a conversation that can happen or come to fruition without me sitting there and being like, that's that, and that's this, and this is that. Because of, just the lies that are going on, and you know how it is to know what's going on and have the eyes to see. When you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the heart to feel, you can't help but want to yell at people. And that's what makes us, seem to be crazy people. Yay. And there almost is no stopping that. What's up, my brother? Well, I'm sure you're just getting here now because you probably freaking just made a dang video, probably. Everybody check him out when you're done here. He's a good guy. No, all right, let's get back to this. I've been yapping. Of course, that's a big question now. Now I'm talking closer person that understands this topic. My wife left me because of. Yeah, no, hey, sorry that your wife left you, and you know, it's never easy being with somebody. I've been with multiple women, and they're always older than me. I recognize really soon, older women really appreciate you a lot more. But whatever. All right, let's get back through and finish this video, man. That sucks, bro. Yep. Hey, I like my channel because people get to talk. You guys talk. Love you all. In our bug out bag and prepare whatever because of her husband isn't really awake. What I would actually suggest putting in there, which is really funny, it takes up not a lot of room, but it seems like it does. But like Top Ramen, great thing. I think drinking any hot liquid out of styrofoam is stupid as fuck. Pardon my French. But cup of noodles are good to, have a couple in there because you don't even need a damn utensil. You can just throw some water in there. It doesn't even have to be hot. I mean, you can just throw some water in there. It'll expand. You can freaking eat it. A cup of noodles and Top Ramen are really good. What I've found is you got to check with your flashlights and all that. One of my favorite things. I think it's in my truck. All right. You got to go by Walmart. You literally got to go by Walmart, and they have these flashlight bats. They're a little bit bigger than the ones that you used to get, at the baseball game. Kind of like this. It's kind of like this. I have one in. Goodness, whatever. I must love you guys because I'm going to go get one. All right. I'm going to go get the one out of my girl's car. All right, so these things are like $15. I'm not joking. I've probably bought at least 12, 13 of them, and this is not a joke because I have lots of women in my life that I love, and I don't mean that in a dirtball way. But no, I've changed. But this is what I'm talking about right here. All right, so right here. Are you ready? I'm going to turn around. Alright, so there you go. It is a flashlight. A bright ass flashlight. That's medium. And yeah. So, no, this thing, I'm not joking. When I first got the first one, I'm like, this is cool. Like, sweet. Yeah, seriously. If you have... Alright. Let's just show a little something. I will read the comments here in a second. Alright, so if you have this in your vehicle, there's a good chance that they're going to take your ass to jail. But if you have this, which is a flashlight, in your car, you have a lot less better chance of going to jail. Did that sound bad? And I'm not trying to be no Illuminati bullshit. My checkerboard there. I actually like to play chess, so whatever. And then here is the other really, really awesome one. This thing even comes with a little freaking throwing knife. But this machete is bad ass. The best thing is, it's not too long. And it is strong as hell. And it has a saw. I work out in an orchard, and I have one that I keep out there. Yes, it does its job very well. It was worth its, I think, 25, $30, whatever it was. I don't remember. I bought a couple of them, but only bought a couple. But definitely worth its weight. That is for sure. especially if you're talking about what to have. But one other thing is, a lot of people say, well, 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, blah, blah, blah. But if you're really, more than anything, you want to have a way to filter water. They have straws, they have this, they have that. But more than anything, you know, what I do, a bug out bag, this, that's a good thing. Who I'm going to be, I'm going to kind of, I don't know, whatever. But one thing that I will tell everybody, a very smart thing, hey, if you drink booze, well, hopefully you're smart enough and you don't drink out of plastic bottles. Well, so if you're smart enough and you drink decent enough booze that isn't in plastic bottles, you fill those water bottles up with water. But I suggest you don't fill it up with the fluoride water that is pumping through everything, even when you wash yourself. You know, and hey, I'm guilty of this. I like warm showers. Well, guess what? The warmer your shower is, guess what? The more fluoride that soaks into your skin. It's coming out of your, yeah, it's going into your pores. All right, Namassel. Let's read some of these. I'm getting a little bit happy here, aren't I? I've been enjoying myself. I've just been walking around. I didn't even freaking... I thought the camera was pointed at me. Sorry, guys. Alright. Alright. Do you even need water? I don't know. Most of the water I get is out of my eyes. Cracker. Beds. Fork? Oh, do I even have a fork? Yes, okay. See, I'm kind of a prick because I actually do have a to-go bag, but I don't actually have it here. And is that not kind of funny? But no, they actually do have this nice little fork and knife and spoon and all that kind of get up at Walmart. Which Walmart is literally of the devil. It is literally what will be the FEMA camps that imprison us most likely. Or that were gonna imprison us before Trump. Who knows? We still might be fucked. Getting for... Where is that at, hon? Greetings from Costa Rica. Oh, Costa Rica. Sorry. All right. Yeah. Okay. Do you mean you're actually from there, or are you just joking? I don't even have a fork. No, that is, no, definitely a good one. What's actually irritating the hell out of me is I wanted to show you guys the other little survival knife since she asked, but I forget where it's at, and I really don't feel like digging through shit. Goodness, what the hell's going on with this? Alright, normal. Go back. Alright, so I guess let's finish off this video. But no, seriously, more than anything, you want a way to filter out water, and what we're all missing out more than anything that nobody realizes is iodine. Iodine is natural, and it's like in many things that we're supposed to eat, but we don't eat a lot of those things. And besides the other things that it's in that we eat, they actually, you know, through Monsanto's this, that, and other thing, trust me, Monsanto's is the most horrible thing in the world. And it literally, they're taking the iodine out. Iodine is actually a good thing for you. And you know what's funny is, you know, they got rid of all this lead paint and all this that was supposed to be bad for you. But isn't it funny when all the lead paint was getting painted on cars and on houses? Nobody really had any lead poisoning or had any problems. Now, autism is up through the roof and nobody's using any lead fucking paint, are they? You want to know they don't want you to use lead paint? They don't want you to use lead paint because guess what? All those microwaves and all that radiation that they fucking spread, guess what? Fucking lead actually dissipates it. Alright. Yeah. See, I must love this guy, or I'd throw him off my fucking pool table. And if he throws up on my pool table, that's alright, I'll clean it up. He is badass. I'm not joking. This motherfucker will literally go out and kill rats and come back and let my hamster run around. I don't have it anymore. And it didn't die because of him. But let my hamster run around. This thing will, Momo will kill birds, rats, whatever. And then I bring chickens and ducks home that are a day old. He realizes they're mine. He won't even freaking touch them. It's crazy. All right. What am I doing getting off topic again, right? Alright, I'm going to start this up. You guys keep talking. Thank you so much for being here. You know I love that. We're all here and we're making connections. But here, let's laugh a little bit.
Gregorian chants everywhere. Ershad Manji in The Trouble with Islam, she said a weird group of wasabis just hijacked the religion and sent it into the Dark Ages. And I go, yeah, but how were they vulnerable to hijacking? Christianity couldn't be hijacked by the snake guys. So why? And I think part of it was inbreeding. I mean, every time I bring this up, people go, yeah, what about white people, hillbillies? They were inbreeding, or royalty, they were inbreeding. And I go, yeah, and it went real bad. It was a bad move. We went the hard way. We saw Deliverance. Strap yourself in for this. 70% of all Pakistanis are inbred.
Not really. I only showed you one knife.
Between 25 to 30%. More stillbirths among immigrants. A rough estimate reveals that close to half of everybody living in the Arab world is inbred. A large percentage of the parents said, this is blowing my mind. I posted it before I came here. I also read somewhere that a lot of the symptoms of inbred people are irrational rage.
Pardon me, sir.
And they end up just describing ISIS. People are scared of genetics too because it gets into eugenics and they get uncomfortable. But it gets into racism too. You know? Racism, but yeah. I come from a shitty Glaswegian family. We're drunks, and maybe coming from a shitty group, you develop this immunity to fear of your group sucking. Like, well, I don't care what you say about my group. I'm Italian, mostly Italian. I'm 1/4 Irish, and fucking, I came from a line of savages. You know, there's a good percentage of my ancestors and relatives that I know that are fucking ape people, and I can say that because I know them. And
Are you talking about my cat or somebody else's cat?
That I fight off every goddamn day of my life. Man. The first time I came here, you were trying to separate your spinal cord. You crushed it from choking people out.
Kitty. He's weird. Seriously. I'm not joking. He likes his tail pulled, and he actually likes me to pick him up by his tail. This is not a joke. And I've shown videos of this, and people get so mad. And they're like, you're so mean. How dare you do that? So, would anybody like to see how much this cat likes to be picked up by his tail? Somebody has to say yes, or I'm not going to do it because people think I'm a dick. And bees. Alright. Momo Bobo, come here. Come here. Alright, seriously. You ready? Are you ready? he doesn't even walk away. He's just like, keep petting me, pull my tail. And that's the funny thing. He walks back around and is like, please pull my tail.
I think you like the idea of being a lazy guy.
I'm not joking. You see this shit. Like, he literally does not mind. Like, he wants his tail pulled. It's crazy. Like, he comes and just flicks his tail. Watch. He comes with his tail right there in front of you. And that's the funny part is like, why are you putting your tail right there? He likes his tail pulled. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's funny because people in person, they see it. They're like, dude, your cat's crazy. That's awesome. But when people see it on videos, they're like, you're so mean to your cat. Like, here. I guess I could have done a better job videotaping, but I just moved him from the ground to the pool table. Like, yeah. He's like, what's up? Are you going to pet me or are you going to pull my tail some more? I try not to pull his tail too much when he's on the pool table because he tries to need. Alright, let's go back to this. I got into the cat. Sorry, guys.
How many genders do you want me to say? It really is it's our death now. Hi, Chuck.
Yo, what's up, man?
Can you tilt the mic more up to your face, please?
He does what he does to protect everything that my flock. Yes. Huh. You protect my flock. See? Like, watch. Seriously, because I never yank him by his tail. I just pick him up slowly, and look, he's already back. He's like, "Come on, can you pick me up with my tail and put me back up on the pool table?" It's literally nuts. Like, I don't know. I think it's the most hilarious thing. I've had other cats that would sit on my shoulders and lay, across my shoulders, but never a cat like him that likes to be picked up by the fucking tail.
I can say that because I know them and I come from them, and I have 8 people instantly.
You came from a line of savages? No fucking way.
The first time I came here, you were trying to separate your spinal cord because you had
line of savages. All right, well.
And I brought him a microphone. I said, "Come up here," and you.
I consider I came from a line of savages too. I'm a direct descendant of Brigham Young. My lineage goes all the way back to the Mayflower and obviously farther. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty much a descendant of savages too. But no, I'm German, Irish, Scottish, Italian, and Basque. But one thing I'm not is a fucking Mormon.
Tell me which of my ideas you don't like, and you tell me what your idea is, and we'll discuss it. And he's like, "Whose campus? Our campus. Whose campus?" It was really like a broken robot. And one of them, by the way, had a drawing of this on a piece of paper, and he was holding it up at me like this, like. What? You ever heard anything more insane in your life? I mean, maybe it was 1920. We were in a British.
We all live in a flesh suit. That's what this world. That's what we live in. Flesh suits. Meat suits.
So insane. Speaking for myself, I am profoundly lazy. So you just sit around in your underwear, eating yesterday's hamburger, which is still on the ground, watching an X-Men you've seen 3 times now. I would do that, but I'm so paranoid about wasting my life because you do die at the end, and I'm 45. Probably not.
Only from this reality,
I
mate.
set up things to do constantly. I cannot.
That's good, though. That's good.
I feel so anxious about death.
If I was rich and famous as you, I would too, motherfucker. That's why I'm always crawling in my skin.
Fall asleep
Nice, yeah.
with the spaghetti in a pot, and
Makes
then they
sense.
wake up and they flip the spaghetti over and it looks like a seal's stomach. It's still sort of blanched on the bottom because it didn't dry out, and then they just start eating that because the top is dried out. Now, if that's foreign to you, then you're not.
All right, brother. Glad to have you here. Why you could be here. You have a good night.
Selecting a friend Okay, we're not electing someone that we can go and go camping.
Love you, brother.
We're electing someone who is going to do as little as possible, as far as I'm concerned, and meddle. I don't want him buying Solyndra. I don't want him forcing a healthcare program at gunpoint. I don't want him going to our enemies and doing nuclear deals with them so he can look good and showboating for his Muslim friends. I don't want that. But the reason I think that Trump is so important right now is because we're living in a real era of shame. We're living in a culture that's anti-masculine. We're living in a culture where we're ashamed of being patriotic. We're changing the name of Columbus Day. And what Trump is saying with Make America Great Again is make America proud to be great again. We know we're great, but all this capitulation and shame, and how many genders do you want me to say? It really is, it's our death. Hi, Chuck.
Yo, what's up, man?
Can you tilt the mic more up to your face, please?
Sure, I don't know that it works, though.
Oh,
it's just for show.
This is just your computer mic? Next to a fancy mic.
I can't figure out how it works.
It just turned where I'm
I can
at.
just figure it out later by reading the manual.
Plug it into the USB port on your computer, and then you...
Yeah, this is kind of my new favorite pastime. I think this is about the 5th night in a row I've gone live. But yeah, it's only 1 o'clock, and my girl's never really used to me coming to bed before about 2 or 3 anyways, so I don't worry too much about it.
Go into system preferences and check mic input. Yeah, that's your problem right there. Yeah, that's your problem right there. And the Nazis of Holland.
Yeah, hey, whoa.
Tulips. And they...
No, I mean, hey, if you're tired, you definitely go, but if you want to stick around, I definitely would love you to stick around. Especially if you have something that you want to talk about. But yeah. No. If you want to stick around. But, you know, come on, you guys know how much I stop videos, so obviously I'm down and willing to talk. So, that's up to you, but I'd love it if you want to stay. And
hundreds of thousands of them starved to death. And Audrey Hepburn was from that world, and she was a skinny chick who didn't need a lot of food. All of her ancestors, kids, became obese. Big giant fat pigs. And they say it could have been genetic memory where their bodies went, holy shit, you found Doritos? I'm going to hold on to this because you're never going to find one again. Then you get, and I've noticed this in LA with all these Mexicans I see everywhere. They seem more obese than the general populace, and I think they have genetic memory from a generation or two ago where food was scarce, and their bodies hold on to it. The fact that a cell can remember this for generations, like, have you ever heard of cell memory? Yeah. Get an eye transplant, and all of a sudden you're seeing the guy that killed that guy. I think it was on 60 Minutes, but I know genetic memory is a real thing. Maybe they're right. Maybe
fuck.
gays should.
How am I? Yeah, I can't ignore that. All right. Well, I'm just gonna read it off first. Okay. Is it normal to be scared about what is gonna happen to our nation soon? Question mark. Because I am. No, it's really not. It's shitty and it sucks. But for whatever reason, we are elected to know. Whether the ones that we try to open their eyes actually open their eyes and listen is a whole nother story. It is just a very disturbing question and reality to deal with. You're always the ones that you love. You see it happening. You know what's going on. And, you know, you wonder, do we have a reprieve? Have enough people open their eyes? Or are we literally going to go through Armageddon? But if you look up Armageddon, you look up Apocalypse, you look up that, you come to the understanding that it is the great revealing. There is nothing, like, it is destruction, but it is destruction of the way and the lie. So that's one thing that we should think about and realize, and hopefully not stress too much. I mean, if you want to stress and be crazy, I mean, you should worry about the guy that actually proves that things are. I'm not even going to get into it. No, and I always appreciate you being here. What was really funny, though, the one person that said, do they mind if they leave or whatever the heck they left, and I lost like 5 people, it shows on my side. Like, wow. No, not like I care. I appreciate who's here. If you guys want to get into anything else, let me know. And if not, we'll wrap it up. You look so blown away. Me? You talking about me? I wouldn't say I'm blown away, but I sure am baked. I've been in the sun quite a bit. And I still got 2 more weeks of it. I find Zedek from that he made about transgenders, and again, I did want to sound, but that topic got me crazy, and I know people can wake through that. Like, hi. Oh. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, yeah, I don't know all the lingo, but yeah, maybe a little bit. That's what's nice about being free, right? Even though that I know that you only got about 2 or 4 subscribers, and I have no idea who you are, and there's no way to even get into who you are. Hey, man. Yeah, there's no way to even know who you are. What's funny is, if I was being watched, it would be somebody just with a little account like you that can't be looked at. Kind of funny. Not saying that's you, but that's a little bit how enlightened I am. In no way do I not recognize that you could not be something. Yeah. So, let's go past that. That's your mom's account? No, hey, I'm not trying to anything. I just laugh because what's funny is usually people that like me have a little bit of an account. I'm not trying to call you out being a dick or whatever, but usually people have a little bit of an account that like me, and usually the people that talk shit are the ones that don't really have anything. And what I've noticed about you've never talked shit, but I've seen you leave so many, comments, which I really appreciate and love, so I clicked on you, and it was just funny because you didn't really have kind of an account or anybody on there. But yes, it is a very smart thing if you're trying to hide yourself from all the cyber Nazis. I don't blame you, but I was just saying that I did notice that. Alright, should we finish this freaking video? Will I ever even let this happen? I mean, goodness, what's my problem, right? I didn't do that. I really didn't. Ow! Don't you hate it when your eye breathes? Ow. Yeah, it hurts. Alright. So what'd you say, my beautiful love? What'd you say? Okay, Zedek, I really appreciate that you're here doing this. Believe it make a difference. Even if there is not much views. I mean, you have 2 or 3 hour videos and still people who watch it all. She isn't really into making vids because if that type of shit, but she showed me you, and I like you and a lot. You're cool and awoke. Sorry. No, thank both of you so much. You know, for being. Thank you everybody for being here. Yes. Yes, Cedric, you should improve this channel, fix your computer, and so on. It's not even that I need to fix my computer. I just haven't even looked into doing it. I'm not joking. I had a PX 900 and a computer. I know how to use PX 900, but I don't know how to do all the computer crap. I don't know about any of it. Have never really tried, and every time I did, it was kind of a hassle and just whatever. But no, that is something that I definitely need to get into, because I would love to be able to put up a video or just whatever, or go through content with you guys. Have your video up and have it to where, you know, your faces are there. It doesn't even have to be your face. You can put a fucking picture or this or that. I don't care. But to where you can actually be sitting there talking and going back and forth over shit. Because there's so much shit day to day to just go over that the blind masses do not even see. It's sad. No, it would be, I think, really awesome to just have everybody there to be able to do that. All right, let's finish this freaking video up. I know I'm nuts, and you know what? I really appreciate you guys being here, because when you come to have the understanding that we have, it is really hard to find people like us to where that we can feel halfway sane. So I love you guys so much for being here. And we're going to try to laugh a little bit more, and then we can go over some other stuff you guys would like. Had a really good time. Thank you. Do you post videos a lot? Are you talking about me or somebody else? But yeah, I used to post more videos, but now I've been doing a lot more live.
Maybe a lot of these rape victims are bitches that should have stones thrown at them. Oh, wow.
That sounded bad.
Look,
but
he had a bad week because of women. He lost women last week because he poo-pooed Khan, the wrath of Khan, as Ann Coulter puts it.
Right. I know I was trying to laugh, but God, you've gotten in a little bit crazy here. I would like to stay, Zedek. We are sharing our lifetime. It can be taken for granted. We need to improve this channel together. I would love that. I would love for you to help me improve my channel. I need to figure it out. When can I see your live chat again? I think I'm going to just try to continue doing it every night, and hopefully starting by 11 or 11:30. I just want to tell all of you I love you so much, and I thank you so much for being here. But yeah, I was just trying to finish off this video with the laughing. But if there's anything you guys want to talk about, I understand and love to talk about it. If you got to go, I understand that too. All right, here we go. What does UFO mean? I don't know what UFO means. You gotta tell me. I'm a little bit again to that.
And he shouldn't have done that. You're supposed to be reverent when someone dies in battle, and he didn't appreciate that because he's got that New York attitude of if someone hits you, you punch them back twice as hard. That works in business. It doesn't always work in politics. To lower the bar so everyone can get in, we have all these retarded classes. There's a class at NYU called 20-something, where it's just about being 20-something. Done.
This is not joking. This is sad.
And you go, now you've just wasted your time by not admitting that some people are special. And that's what I was getting at earlier with the Western culture thing. Some
you
cultures
flow.
are better. Some are more advanced.
Thank you so much for being here, love.
You throw them in Africa,
and there would be.
I know I can do better, and I'm not. I'm gonna try.
He can jump 1,000,000 miles in the air.
Thank you guys. You guys mean the most to me. I want you to be on my live feeds when I start making real stuff happen.
Over like Jeremy Lin or whatever. And I think Jimmy Kimmel and you are the same. They get fucked over. I've done it a million times. I've thrown my career down the toilet, and then I just keep flying through the sewers and pop. I come out of another manhole. But I did it with advertising. I got involved in advertising. I hated advertising. Built up an agency, sold it for millions. Then we got fired because I said shitty stuff about trannies. They push you down and say, you suck, you're a fag, you suck. So when you're 18, you go, no,
whoa, man.
You come leaping out and you're too you. You're like you dipped in you sauce.
Uh-oh.
So instead of going, no, I'm not a fucking loser, I'm just gay, you go, I'm gay.
I'm so adorable.
Coming out party once, and the guy burst
you will stalk you, or I will stalk you.
Goes,
oh shit!
It's great to be here. It's great to be gay.
I've dealt with that before.
Sometimes I'm a man, sometimes I'm a woman, but I'm always
yeah.
Okay. You know, like
I'm not too scared because I've been stalked by a woman that was 6 inches taller than me and 15 years older.
You make out in front of my building?
And I was with her for about 4 years. So I'm not too scared. I've been stalked.
Black and white couples in New York, they'll be walking the train holding hands.
If you're 7'2", then maybe I might be scared.
Oh, congratulations, you're fucking someone you're attracted to. Woo! Way to go out there and blow minds.
But I am a midget.
You're sucking your girlfriend's dick. I'm stunned.
I'm only 5'7".
In their portrayal of the issues of the workplace. Well, you end up going, you guys are making me think women are dumb. So I don't like that women's march. I go, you guys are, I don't know what you're out to prove here, that your pussy has teeth. Women look dumb. Even the abortion thing, 50% of women are pro-life.
Exactly.
So why are you making this a gender issue?
Exactly.
It's an ethics thing. It's like euthanasia, but it has nothing to do with men or women. I dated an escort once. Did you? She was molested as a kid. Ooh.
Duh.
For sex, for her,
they just
we had to
before.
go super intense.
Same thing.
Like public humiliation. She wanted me to slap her in a grocery store.
Not like that, no.
Because intimacy had been ruined.
Yeah, weird.
So then we had to leap over that and get right into mean stuff.
Shut up,
Fuck, man. Yeah, it wasn't great. The protesters know I'm not that guy deep down. Like, it's sort of like when you watch those ghost hunter shows and they go, yeah, we heard some disturbances downstairs. Those guys don't believe in ghosts. They're bullshitting. It's a good gig. Hunting ghosts. So they pretend to believe in ghosts. They don't believe in ghosts. And these people don't believe in these fascist Nazis. They just thought, so when I was that guy, they thought, what the hell's going on? This game just became real. It's sort of like if you were to kill a goth, he's like, no, I don't really want to die. What I have to say to you two is, I don't understand why you think that you have
Thank you guys for being there.
privilege to sit there and go, I don't like either of them. I don't support either of them. You don't have a choice anymore. You have to choose one of them. It's an ultimatum. So you are voting for Trump, Andrew.
I'm voting for Trump, but then I'm going to just hide away in my room in the darkness and weep for years to come after them.
Yeah.
In shame.
Can we count on your vote?
Hey, man. For real. Really appreciate you being there. I'm sure you're probably gone, but I love you. Thank you for being there. Oh, you still are here.
Lack of connection that these childless people have in our media and in our political system. And there's an anti-kid culture going on that is ethnomasochism combined with laziness, and it really is. It's like when I'm in Williamsburg with my fucking stupid.
I'm having fun. LOL. So you're welcome. Oh, well, thank you. Because I'm cool, man. No, I appreciate having laughing with people. Because I mean, all right. Yeah. Okay. I am sorry. Should I go? No, please do not go. And please stay. No, what is crazy to me is I spend all my free time researching shit and looking at stuff. And it is funny because, you go around other people, family, events, this, that, the other freaking thing. And when anybody brings, anything up, I'm kind of just like, and it comes out so quick that most of the time they're just sitting there like, well, is that true? And it's like, well, yes. But no, it's a hard for me because I spend all of my free time doing that. Even I'm my own boss, so I throw in some earphones. I listen to what I want to listen to while I'm working. So sometimes I'm listening, researching, listening to other people that I've come to found that are good, that, you know, actually do real research on this, that, or the other thing. I put the freaking earphones in my damn head, and there's anywhere from, you know, 8, 12, 16 hours a day sometimes. I'm almost listening to what people are researching and looking at. And I know that's why they hate me on YouTube. I mean, I've never even gone up and looked on my computer or looked into it that much to even know how many videos I've made, because I do everything off of my phone. But I can guarantee that I have literally more videos than I have subscribers, which is hilarious. I mean, I made a video, got 27,000 views and 200 subscribers in 2 hours. And then they realized that wasn't the narrative, and they didn't like the video that I had on Vegas that I was able to come by. So, you know, I know that I'm targeted and hated in this and that and the other thing. But I just continue to laugh about it, because it's like, that means I'm on the target. I'm over the target, because you don't mess with somebody unless they're over the target. You get the most flack when you're over the target. So, and they think you're a weirdo, right? Oh, no, of course. Yeah, they think I'm the crazy one. But what's so funny is the things that you end up calling out, and you call it out a year, 6 months before, this, that, or whatever, or they actually just decide to open up their brain and go research something themselves instead of listening to CNN. And then they come back to you and they're like, hey, I looked into that you were saying, and you're totally right. And you're like, No, so it's slowly, like, we were awoken to plant seeds. That's all we can do. We were put here. We are watchmen. We are the ones that are supposed to blow the trumpets as loud as we can. I know that. But for the most part, we are just really seed planters. That's what we are. We're planting seeds here and there. And the only thing that we really can do, I think, is plant those seeds and let those things, you know, open up their minds and let them, you know, start to grow themselves. Because we all know we were brainwashed for how long? I mean, come on. All right. Yeah. And yeah. Well, is that it's too enjoyable, my time. I share my own beliefs, and you don't block or censor me because of what us. I respect that. No, I mean, as long as you're not giving me a death threat, like, you know, and that's the thing, like, and I've gotten a lot of those, but I get rid of those. But like, if you're not giving me a death threat or whatever, you can come up and post and debate with me, whatever you want to say. And I respect you for being here and being willing to, you know, come say your beliefs. You know, but yeah, I don't censor anybody unless they're giving death threats and all that. And then, you know, I like to get rid of that stuff. No, and you know what's crazy and why I really want to get my computer going is I want to be able to have other people there talking, going back and forth and having that, because I am somebody that has things locked inside of my head that I've learned. I am dyslexic, which is, you know, which is really weird because I'm great at history, great at math. Anything that I care about, I lock it into my brain. But what is funny is I'm sure you guys can watch probably quite a few videos that I could go on for an hour or this or that. But when I do a video and I have the back and forth from you guys, like every time somebody brings something up or whatever, it just unlocks something in my head. you know, I joke around all the time. It's like, dude, I forget more in a week than you probably learn in a month. And that's just kind of my backhanded bullshit. But when I come to realize that I do anywhere from literally about 10, 12, 16 hours almost of listening and going through stuff, it's just about what I do almost every day. And I have the ability to do it. And when you do that, you come to, especially after you've learned whatever was the first big lie. Oh man, especially after you learn that. But here's the thing is, most people, even if they learn it, they almost don't want to accept it. And even worse than that, they can't. They don't have the time. They don't have the energy. Well, something happened to me. In no way do I believe in leaving your blood in 10 and uploading it to the internet. I think that is of the devil. But I will admit, I can't lie. So I will admit, I cut myself really bad out at the job that I work at, the orchard. And I went under the oldest tree that I could find that was on the property. Old cypress tree. And I literally bled my blood out onto the trunk and the roots. And I asked, please show me what this world really is. I want to know. Take whatever you want, but I want to know what this world is. This was after I woke up, but at the same time, I never slept again from this moment, even though that I was awakened before. It changed everything. Nothing matters of my time or my energy. I talk to the people that I know, that I love, that I'm around, and I cannot help almost anything that anybody says about anything. I have something to rebuttal it, or to be like, well, that's a lie, or this is that, or, oh, wow, you're actually smart and actually do know what you're talking about. There is just always something going through my head, no matter what the situation is. I had this one person, he asked me, is there not one thing that you don't have an opinion on? And I looked at him. I said, you know what? I do not have an opinion on pygmies. No opinion or no give two fucks about pygmies. Anything else? Yes, I do. And I know that sounds cocky. And what's funny is I used to be cocky and I've gone away from that. But from coming to the point of realizing that I knew nothing, and then having that ability to start to learn, I've spent anywhere from, 10 to 16 hours almost every day putting my energy and my ears into learning, to having the ears to hear. And not just, I've gone through freaking, I think I've even recorded and put some of her videos on, but this girl from Lithuania that literally went through every religion and literally translated everything. I went through so many things of just what she did and listening to what she put out and things like that. And it is so funny when you actually take time to listen to what other things said, especially people that wrote things down way, way before paper was cheap. You gotta understand, back then when paper was one of the hardest things to manufacture, do you think they wrote things like 50 Shades of Grey? Yeah, I guess that was a bad example. They might have tried. But do you think that they wrote things that were not of what was happening and that was not of significance? They did not. So that is one aspect that we really lose so much. And here I am, I've gotten off onto a rant. And here you guys are, still listening to me yap like a fucking crazy man. I love you guys. Speaking to those elite and bloodlines consider us like the Walking Dead. No, we are. They do consider us as the Walking Dead. It is all start with your birth certificate. No, see, and that's what scares me too, is our birth certificate is probably the mark of the beast. Your name is all in capital letters. Yep, that's when they changed us from being a republic into a corporation. As soon as they changed us from being into a republic to a corporation is when all of a sudden our name became nothing but capital letters. Yes, you are right, beautiful. Something came to my house, was scaring the kids. I went looked for people who have seen Jesus, and the journey began. Wow, that is kind of beautiful. So after the tree, I think it did show you knowledge things. Haha, 50 Shades. No, yes, no. And I'm not suggesting this to anybody, because I know we are the body of Christ. So our blood is Christ. It is. I would say yes, and at the same time, I will admit, and this was something that I'd heard, because I've been looking into lots of stuff. And this wasn't of the Bible that I found this or that or whatever, but you know, when you look into the Satanists and shit that they do and this and that. But what I was looking into wasn't Satanism stuff. It was just kind of spiritual, whatever the hell. But when you really think about it, all that is that. It's just baby steps towards it. But from what I remember, the text that I found, or that I did find, was to say that find the oldest tree that you can find. If it's 100 years or older is the best. And spill your blood on its roots and on its trunk. And ask for what you want. I asked for knowledge. That's all I asked for. And the dreams, and I'm not trying to, whatever, poor fucking me. Oh, well, bitch, you asked for it. Not trying to get like that, whatever. But the amount of understanding or feeling that I like being gang stalked, being able to not to sleep, the crazy dreams that you have that are so insane, sitting there and actually realizing that you might have a better understanding of what this world is and what's going on. And that means that you are in hell because you understand way better than anybody else around you, and you can't open their eyes. Would that not be the definition of hell? Yeah. Alright, sorry, let's see. I think that you keep saying that you change in the way that you behave before, but the truth is that you have always been yourself. Maybe there's some scientists that brought us to I don't know. I don't know. Something changed in me. Something. I don't know, but I will tell you all that I do really appreciate you being here. That is for sure, because I mean, the main reason that I do this is trying to open people's eyes, and let alone, I know the first truth that I ever found that I thought was the craziest, stupidest thing in the world. I had to come and do my own research and figure out that was that. And then there was all the other lies to go through. So to have people to talk through and go through and, try to figure that out, or give you a bouncing board to get off of or to talk against, is really a good thing. You don't deserve the negative of being awoke if you know what I mean. You don't deserve the negative of being awoke, if you know what I mean. No, we don't deserve it, but if we can't handle it and take it, who are we? And, we have to be able to take this because this is our lot. This is what was set for us. And if we can't sit and take this, who are we? Did we deserve to be chosen? I can't wait till I got my computer because I just clicked this right now. But let's clock this out real quick. So it is a prayer, and it says, "Thank you, Father. Thank you for hiding these things from the rich and the learned. Thank you, Father, for showing me these things, the weak and the poor and the simple. Do you not understand? Jesus, God, whatever, he's done with that line. He gave his love to the Gentiles, my brothers and sisters. We are the Gentiles. You're sitting here with me right now talking about this. There's a dang reason. And it means more than anything else, especially that there's not that many people here. It really does. You got to realize we were chosen. We were picked. And we have such a hard issue recognizing that because it's hard to get your accolades of that from anybody because they don't have the understanding that we do. And at the same time, we are so humble that we're scared to say that we are chosen. Well, if you've ever felt that you've been gang stalked, I can just about promise you, my brother or sister, that you are chosen. The enemy would not spend time or energy to gang stalk somebody that was not chosen. Never forget that, my brothers and sisters. All right, I feel like... No, we shouldn't just take it. The truth begins when you see the pity of... The Darwin theory is insanity. I mean, it's already proven to even DNA to be created in the amount of time that they give it to evolve would be like taking a dictionary 10,000 feet up and dropping it through a helicopter and it all falling down perfectly back into place. Yeah. Nobody wants to admit the theory of evolution, theory. The theory of gravity, theory. Buoyancy and density, proven fact. Imagine that. Totally. A total exaltation can smash our heads and serve we do not belong to that realm. One of the things that I can completely say is we are here in some kind of fashion, and most of us have no idea why, the rhyme of how, or anything. Are we here because we made a mistake, and we're here for punishment? Because this place is a little bit a form of a hell. Hopefully it's not the hell. That's hopefully still beneath us. But are we here because we did something wrong? Are we here because we were chosen to come and save people? That we were chosen here to come and spread love, our hearts? Are we here because it's just a last chance and you've messed up so many times? Like, I have no idea, but one thing that I do know is I don't live on a spinning wet ball rocket, and I did not evolve from monkeys. There was the great creator, and there was a great architect, and I don't believe that the great architect wound up the clock and walked away. I don't completely believe that. I do think that maybe he did somewhat do that to let it be, to see where it would be. But I don't think that he walked away forever. And I think one of our biggest problems that a lot of us miss is, God is talking inside of us. And it's kind of like the little thing, a devil and a devil and an angel on one side, as I think, what's the name? Sage Wonder would say. It's kind of like the old parable, an angel and a, demon or the devil on one side, trying to figure out and trying to mess with your mind and trying to tell you what you should and what you shouldn't do or this or that. I think in a big aspect of what's going on, that there is a fight for our heart and our soul, and most of us don't want to admit it, and most of us don't want to see it. But I think one of our biggest things is we need to listen to what the Spirit is inside of us. And I've said this on a couple of videos, which is really hard to say because I never want to say that I have the right to judge how anybody should pray, and not to say that I do. But I always kind of felt like if you prayed out loud, that you were letting the god of this world, Satan, be able to hear you and use that against you. But if we are the body of Christ, if we are the blood of Christ, this, that, and you pray inside of yourself, he should be the only one that hears you, is what I've kind of thought a little bit. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that I know that that's true. Just something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And let's see, the body belongs to the earth, and we learn to exist with it. Maybe some Proverbs, respect and take care of these. Well, like I've said before, we are in a flesh suit, and that's what it is. There is something. I feel like you should have your own real relationship with God, because I think that the devil is running this world right now because of everything that going on. So I agree completely. No, he is running this world because I mean, it tells us in the Bible that he owns this plane of existence, not planet, plane of existence. And it tells you when he takes Jesus to the highest top of the mountain when he's in the desert and says, I will give you all of this, all of the kingdoms. He shows him all the kingdoms. Well, guess what? He could not offer what he did not own. He owns this. He owned this. He owned this place as soon as he got Eve to eat of the fruit and got Eve to have Adam eat of the fruit. He owned it right there. And I think there are other things that led up before that. I think other things happened, but I think that was the final straw of if you can do this, you will have domain. And that's what he was given. But what people don't get is God knew what he was doing. What is the point of having people that worship you? They worship you for no damn reason. It doesn't matter if you made them. If you have to make them worship you, that is the most, like, think how selfish and pathetic you would have to be to want to make them worship you. That is not of something of a divine creator. That is not in any way. What he wanted was to give us the free will and the chance and the ability to find him in love. Because if we did not have free will, if everything was not so messed up and all this crap was not happening, how in the hell could we ever find the true love of him and understand what his love truly was if all we had was blind, pathetic love? I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but I've noticed many people do this in my life. Give people a place to live for 5-10 years, probably give them anywhere from 20,000, different people, not just one, different people, anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000, taking care of them for however many years they let them stay there. And then when they said, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore. You're not my problem. I've tried to help you out. Doesn't matter if it was 2 years, doesn't matter in 10 years, doesn't matter if they gave you $5,000, doesn't matter if they gave you 20 grand, doesn't matter if they gave you 100 grand. When you finally say that I'm done, and you say time for you to leave, you're the horrible person. This is the brainwashing that our world is in. And this is what keeps actually perpetuating anger with people, is the brainwashing of no matter what somebody has done for you or what they are or this or that, all you need is one rhyme and reason, and you have it inside of yourself that you could literally condemn them right there, no matter how much they've done for you. That is of the devil. And I've watched it so many times I can't even fucking count. It makes me sick when I think about it. Love you, Pops. It's fucking disgusting. People, it's fucking disgusting. I watch it happen to Dave. He wasn't my dad, but he pretty much raised me. And I watched it happen to him left and right. And I kicked these people out back and forth, kicked them out. And they still came back. And the shit that he let himself be taken advantage of was insane. And I couldn't even stop it. That was the saddest part. No matter what. I could curb it, but I could not stop it. Alright. Is that a single man can destroy his own love and truly believes that he can. Correction, a man can beat several demons. Thank you. It was funny. Not one time, and right, like I would say the beginning of my awakening a little bit, my true awakening, the week before he died, he had a pretty good day. And he never really lost his mind, but, whatever. And I was sitting there and I was talking with him, like, man, I've been looking at all this stuff, and people are talking about this crazy planet Nibiru. I'm like, I've looked into that. That's just fucking stupid, insane. I'm like, but one thing I've come to realize, I'm like, I think the fucking Earth is flat, and NASA's a lying piece of shit. He looked up at me. And it's like, of course the Earth is flat. I'm like, what? Excuse me? It's like, yeah, of course the Earth is flat. I'm like, okay, Pops, I'm like 31. Yeah, probably 31, 32. Well, right around there, I'm like, why? Like, trust me, I'm not a little boy. I'm like, why have you never told me this? Why have you never said this to me? You know what he said? You tell somebody the Earth is flat, they think you're fucking crazy and try to put you in an insane asylum. Like, are you? And that is like the last real, I wouldn't say coherent conversation that I had with him, but it was the last conversation that was up to me or whatever that was. And it was just insane because I've been taking care of him for about 4 years before that point, and helping him out and taking care of him because my stepsister sucked, which it's her real dad, not mine. Imagine that. And it was the craziest thing in the world. Like, and that's when I started to wake up. And then he passed, and it was like I never stopped. I think it was probably maybe 2 months after he passed that I spilled my blood, and I didn't cut myself on purpose to do it. I just cut myself really bad working there, and I went and did that. And I don't know. I hope that I didn't sell my soul to the devil. I really do. All right, what are you guys saying? Pops knows what's up. Yeah, he did. Your chest will start to feel like it's opening up, and the spirit will fight and will give you that strength. That's why the religions and Christians deceives. They down the humans empower themselves. It's my keyboard, sorry. No, but more than anything, it was really crazy to listen and hear that from him. It was like, whoa, I thought I was crazy. And you have somebody that you've respected and that has taught you so much, that you've looked up to, and finally they say some shit like that, and they're not joking. They know they're giving you some of their last anything worth anything. Their brain is still there. They know they're passing, it's going. They're giving you their last little diamonds of knowledge and nugget, and it's like, well, of course it's flat, son. And it was just like, what the fuck, are you joking me? I would say, like, I'd already been awoken or awake, but that shit hit me like a sledgehammer, punched me on the side of my head, and I've been hit by some big motherfuckers. And it was just like, it was kind of an understanding, a bookmark, in realizing what I was doing and what I was looking into actually was not insane, if that makes any sense. If your heart is pure and God is really in you, devil cannot touch you, especially if your intentions are pure. I'd agree with that. My intentions were not always pure. I'd like to hope that things that mine are now. I can't say hope and think. I know they are. But you always wonder, is it pure enough? You always wonder. All right, let's finish this off. Aren't you guys done looking at my ugly mug yet? Shit. Let's get this guy going for you really quick. And finish the fuck off. All right. Laugh.
You're sitting at Fox News and you're looking around the table and
But
you're
should
sitting here talking
really
about family
open
values
your eyes,
and the future of America. And I'm the only person on this entire panel with kids. And I can't help but think that Angela Merkel's suicidal policy of bringing the refugees and fuck the whole country up is somehow linked to childlessness. Skin in the game.
Trust me, that's one of the big things that I kind of looked at, because it was like, you son of a bitch. And knowing who and how he was, because he wasn't the greatest person in the world, but I looked up to him like he was, because he was all I had. But I was one of the people that really called him out for what he was, but still loved him no matter what. And then the people that wouldn't call him out for what he was, that, you know, got to eat the golden egg that was laid every month by his ass, which I never put myself in that position to need that. But yeah, did nothing to take care of him. That was the funny part. And what was so funny is after he passed, it was funny that my sister like hit me up and was like, hey, or are you going to come over? Like, I need help, this, that. And it's like, bitch, I gave it the fucking office. I'm done. And I remember like the first year I was coming over, making sure he was all right because I didn't live there anymore, and taking care of him. She asked me, she's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing here? I'm like, Pops is sick and he needs help, this, that, the other thing. What do you mean? So do you think you're going to get something or get anything? And I'm like, no. I'm like, what the fuck is there to get? I'm like, I'm helping him and making sure he does a reverse mortgage on this house. And the house you're over there that he's paying the mortgage on, you're going to have to figure that shit out to fuck yourself. I'm like, so no, yeah, there's nothing for me to get or nothing I want to get. So what's your deal? Well, I just don't see why you keep coming over. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I have a big ass chicken coop with, 14 chickens back there, let alone he needs somebody over here, but okay. And I'm not joking. This cunt, pardon my French, did nothing to keep the goose that laid the golden egg for her alive. I went over there and I paid money. I bought him a fucking Ninja juicer. I fucking went and made sure he had fresh fruits and vegetables. I made sure to go pick him up when he decided to go wandering off looking like a bum and nobody had come to pick him up. And this is what I got to deal with. As I was laughed at, oh, what do you want? What are you trying to get? 57 Chevy that everybody wanted, all that. It was already supposed to go to me. I didn't give two shits. I said, I don't care. She called me up. She's like, well, can you come by and help me without some stuff? And da-da. I still had stuff from when I lived there that was actually mine. I never went there. I went there the day that he died. And I was there literally, no matter what, almost 6-7 days a week, almost no matter what. The day that he died, I did not ever go back until, it was almost over a year after he passed, probably about a year and a half. I had, tied a good one off. I stopped by there, and I always thought that I'd be there with a bottle of JD on the front lawn, crying and yelling and telling everybody what a piece of shit they were. But no, I stopped by there, parked my truck in the middle of the street, crowed like a motherfucker, and said, fuck you, you stupid fucking cunt. You killed your goose that laid you the golden fucking egg, and he left you with misery, you dumb bitch. You deserve it. Was that harsh? I don't know whether she heard me, but I'm pretty sure most of the neighbors did. I'm sure they told her. And drove off. But yeah, that was about a year and a half after he passed. Or so, year, whatever it was. Yeah. It was just so funny that it was like, when she was like, are you going to come over and help me out? It was like, bitch, I gave it the office. I ain't got nothing else to give. I was never there for anything, no matter what you thought. And now I just shoved it in your fucking face, you fucking cunt. Like, you really thought you were going to be like, oh, come help me out so you can get what you want. Never wanted anything. Just wanted my pops to be okay. It's amazing when, you deal with people and they're so fucking arrogantly stupid. In no way can they understand that you actually do something out of the kindness of your heart and for the respect and the love for somebody. They can't understand that. The only thing they can think about, oh, there's all the sirens going off in the background. It's kind of crazy. Fucking Tuesday night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some crazy shit. It is fucking hilarious how people can't even understand that. That shit really opened your eyes, honey. It's not ugly, huh? Please be Mag. What the fuck?
Name? You go, I don't fucking care if you hate me. I gotta make sure that things are kosher for the boys. Like Dana Lash. She was a feminist raver with big fucking Jinko jeans in college and chain wallet. And then she saw what feminism was doing to young boys and making them ashamed of being men. And she had boys. She went, whoa, we created a monster here. And pivoted and became all about saying masculinity is A-okay. Fuck these feminists. We were wrong. My life, my kids will never be able to read all the articles I've written or watch all the videos I've done. They'll never get through them all. They can
No, she does not.
hours if they're bored, but there's way more of my brain.
It's funny. I saw her at Texas Roadhouse one time, and she walked by, and I just looked at her, and she just kind of was like, "Oh, hi." I just pretty much daggered at her and just went back about my business. It's funny. Like, I call myself a midget because I'm only like 5'7", but her stupid husband acted like a fucking fool one time. Came and attacked me. Swung at me about 20 times. I swung once. He woke up and wanted to know why. He was knocked out. He thought I hit him with a shovel. Yeah, no, I just hit him right. But yeah, it was hilarious. She hated me, and that was about a year or so before her pops died. But yeah, just cracked him. It was so funny. It's like, you got knocked out by a midget, and the whole street knew it. It was so funny.
Permanently out there in the cosmos than they could ever want. Oh yeah, and for pictures and everything. Yeah. So the next generation, your dad isn't really gonna die. You can just hang out with him whenever you want. My wife would there'd be a basket by the front door for clothes that she has to take off.
Here, I'm gonna show this. No, actually I shouldn't. Never mind.
Leather underwear. I would wear leather pants and an oversized baseball hat.
That could get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guitar player, plastic guitar.
And I will not say anything, but you might want to notice this that's hanging in my rafters for a reason. I mean, this dude is big. He's like 6'2", probably had me by about 150 pounds. That's what I used to like to use to keep my drinks in. That's what was left. Seriously, I ducked all of this. He grabbed me and freaking almost wrapped me up and everything. And yeah, that was all that was left of, which I will not admit or say anything. But yeah, he thought he got knocked out by a shovel or something. Nope. I let him swing like 20 times, and I kept laughing, and that was the best part. He kept, getting tired and getting pissed off.
I'm getting sick of the way fatherhood
And that's the
and
best.
single motherhood is put on a pedestal because
And that's the best way to deal with a giant when you are a midget. You let them tire themselves out. It takes a lot of energy to move all that weight around. It doesn't take so much for a midget to move side to side. Yep. Well, I think I'm 5'6" now, but I like to think that I was 5'7" when I was younger. No, we all start to shrink, do we not? No, but I do remember I was measured one time and it was 5'7". But yeah, I'm probably about 5'6.5". But yeah, no, that was literally taking out a giant, and it was so funny because when he actually came to and got up, he was walking around looking for his shoe because he was missing his shoe, and I just walked up and I kicked his shoe to him like, "There's your fucking shoe." Yeah, he had no idea what happened to him. He literally thought he got hit by a shovel, and I was like, "No, I let you swing at me 20 times, and then I finally swung once." And I lost my Precious, because that's what I used to call her, my Precious. But my Precious took out the giant, so I can't complain too much now, can I? All right, let's get back to some more funny shit with Gavin, all right? Oh, you son of a bitch. when we get old, you aren't old. No, I'm not old. Not yet, but I sure feel like it. Man. What I could do in my 20s. Shit. Goodness. I could get about 2 hours of sleep each freaking night and go work freaking 12-hour days and go party at the bar. 2-3 hours of sleep and freaking, oh goodness. I was unstoppable. Now I feel old. I'm turning 34 this month. Old man.
It's bad for America. And I used to think women were too stupid to understand this, but
yes, I did. His shoe fell off. Yes.
Sexism in 2014 is a myth. And
he stumbled around. It was so funny. He was like, "Oh God, it was so funny."
You're saying that alimony is totally skewed because men end up paying more of it, although women earn a lot more money now than when the laws and the rules were kind of set in place.
40% of women are breadwinners in America, in American households. 90% of the alimony payments are by men to women.
Well, I'll be 34.
Women should be able to do the same math that men can do.
This month. So, there you go.
Jill, I think your math is bad. Women are 40% of breadwinners in American households because of so many single mothers. We have a lot of women that were never married in the first place when they have children. So they
and they choose that lifestyle, and that's child abuse.
Well, they don't have anyone to pay their alimony payments to. Alimony payments are gender neutral. There are plenty of women pay alimony payments to husbands. And same with child support payments.
No.
Madonna bought $76 million on her failed marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's 1 out of 1%.
Look, the alimony concept was invented when it was the Nona cooking a spaghetti the whole life, and then she gets mad. I made spaghetti for you guys my whole life, and now I don't have the skills.
Yeah, I wish you were here too. You seem like a pretty cool person.
I didn't realize alimony was invented in Italy. Yeah.
Oh God. No, I wish you were here too. I wish, seriously, we're all just sitting around my pool table, either playing some poker or playing pool, and it's hard to find. For me, I don't know. I do live in California, but yeah, it is hard to find people with half a fucking brain that you even want to even hang out with, let alone that it works out to be able to hang out with them at the same time. But yeah, no, I would love it if all you guys are here and we were just bullshitting. No, I won't be No, I won't be 44. I'll be 34. Well, thank you. What was funny is I was told that I looked like I was 13 till I was about 23. So, yeah. But no, not 44, 34. But, yeah. Trust me, if you had seen me 5 years ago, I still look like a baby. With Pops passing away and going through everything with Pops, it aged me a lot. And I don't think that it helped that, that was before I came back to, God, Christ, whatever you want to say. I more than once over him said, take what you want from me. I don't care who wants it. God, Satan, take what you want from me, from my life, to let him live longer and have a longer life. Not to say, hey, I don't know whether that meant or did anything, but yeah, no, I did that, and I did say that many a times, and it is weird since he's passed. I've almost felt like something has come and started taking its due and started taking what I gave up, because he lived quite a lot longer than supposedly is supposed to, whatever the hell. I don't know. But yeah, I in some kind of way, whether you call it gang stalking this or that, gang stalking is gang stalking. They hate me for this, that, and the other thing, but this was one of the first things that I ever noticed is after he passed, it felt like they came for their pound of flesh and haven't stopped taking it, if that makes any sense. Where do you do live? Where do you live in Cali? Babyface, LOL. I understand that too. I've been through some shit too, even through I'm young. Well, how old are you and where do you live? Yeah, give you the question right back. Waiting on you. I'm just gonna start the video back up.
It was invented for old-fashioned moms. We got new moms. You want equality? You don't get
Yes, it does.
But the big picture here is women do earn less in America because
Even though I'm young. Well, how old are you and where do you live? You asked me where I live and how old I was. So that's fair for me to ask you. I would imagine.
This is nature's way of saying women should be at home with the kids. They're happier there.
That your viewers do not take
Oh,
you
you're in Cali too. Yeah, good. No, I'm Citrus Heights, Orangeville area.
Choosing to put family over work, and that's why they
Let me guess, you're Southern Cali.
mean that you're less ambitious, and your comments are absolutely deplorable. Sean, I would like you. I would like you to adjust this. You're a father. You have a daughter.
If you were a real feminist, you would support housewives and see them as the heroes.
You
and women
said
at work
that-
wasting their time.
You said that women are less ambitious.
Women are
you
less
have
ambitious.
said you have also
Yeah, that does
said
happen.
that women are better suited in the home.
So you say you're in Cali. I told you where I'm at.
Women are emotional.
Where are you at?
Shouldn't run for
And how old?
all of these things that just
I never said women shouldn't run for
yes,
public
you
office.
have. You've said
If we're
that
talking
before.
about 50% of the population, generally out of this 250 million people or 150 million people.
That's because we're over 3 hours, and once you're over 3 hours, they don't like it very much. That's why it's lagging.
Money because they don't stay all night at the office. They don't go the extra mile. They don't work all weekend. You're making a mistake. You would be much happier if you had a husband and children.
I mean, I'm literally.
He can't even say it. He's like, I'm just gonna let this go.
You're miserable. You would be so much happier with kids around you tonight. Imagine coming home, mommy's home.
You know what, Kevin? You're not funny. You're not what you're not doing anything. You do not do better. Sean, this isn't funny.
Feminism has made women miserable. Women were much happier.
Yeah, I figured you were in Southern California. 19? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still a baby.
I think that your guest here is doing a disservice to all of the viewers and to doing a
But
disservice
I am very.
that women that
I am very impressed that you're 19 and that you are opening your eyes to the lies around you and actually trying to educate yourself. So if you're seriously 19, that actually puts a lot of heart or a lot of hope in my heart. So that's awesome.
need to be married, that I would be happier at home. That you're what, miserably married? Just because just having a ring
trying
on.
to share my joy. You should see my little
Not
2-year-old.
everybody has the same life pattern as you,
I know,
okay?
it's the fault
And not
of
everybody wants to marry somebody in a bootleg seersucker suit and go home to that.
What are you talking about? It looks good. It looks like a man. Look at him.
America was never great.
What's your biggest problem with Trump?
All his views.
Can you name one?
He's sexist.
Oh God.
The fact that he doesn't support abortion and the
Yeah, I don't like people sucking out unborn babies with vacuums. I'm sorry.
a lot of women aren't.
Right, but if 50% of a group is something, then
See those statistics.
all right. Well, if
I'm sorry. I've never had a child, and if any of the women that I'd ever had sex with had a child, it would be the greatest gift that I would have ever been given.
I know, but hypothetically, if I was right,
Don't go by hypothetical.
well, we don't have a computer here. We can't look it up.
I can't answer your question.
Any man
Yeah.
who dyed his hair blonde is a freaking jerk. Okay. Freaking jerk. I gotta hint to you, it is pretty brave to come here. I mean, the odds of you getting punched are pretty high. Are you gay?
I am queer.
Oh, you don't use the term gay?
Well, I'm not gay. I'm bisexual.
Oh,
Goodness.
suspicious of bisexual. It seems like a phase.
Our world is going down the drain so fast it is sad.
Oh, well.
2017 resolutions for white guys.
That America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Stop. Stop. I would like you to know what America was like for a white guy. First of all, we didn't
Are you
steal
ready?
land from the Indians. We
Here you
fought
go.
for 400 years. Did a lot of bad, but had a lot of bad to us. That was just to establish it. Then we had to have a revolution to get the British out. Then we had to have a civil war to end slavery. You know how many people died in that? 620,000 white guys died ending.
I think it's important to distinguish between facial, the kind of equality that you're talking about, which is you're basically saying that women shouldn't have, money to provide for their children. Men shouldn't have to pay money to provide for their children. When men actually petition for for custody of their children, they're very likely to get it.
What? That's actually.
Okay, you are 19, and I do remember everything that I'd been through by the time I was 19. So, yeah, no, I understand. But it is amazing the difference that a decade can mean on seeing what this world is. I don't know when you woke up, but I'll admit I learned everything that I could know about this world by the time I was 30, especially history. And then when I turned 30, all of a sudden I realized everything that I learned was a lie. And then I was able to start learning again. So I've only been learning for 4 years. So in no way do I know when you were awakened to when you began to learn. But it is a lot of false lies that we have to get through. And no matter what, never forget, every great lie has a grain of truth to it, because you cannot tell a great lie without truth. So never forget that. Minded is but I feel like being open-minded is the best thing you can do for yourself. 100%. No, it is. And that's the best part. Like when you come across that first big lie, I'm pretty sure every single one of us, whatever that big lie was, I'm not even going to get into all that, but that you thought it was the stupidest thing in the world, and you decided to try to prove it wrong, and then you couldn't prove it wrong, and then all of a sudden you realized the first great big lie. Once you figure out that first great lie, everything else changes. Everything else. And once you wake up, you can never go back to sleep. Now can you?
When men actually request custody of their children, they almost always get at least joint custody.
Men always lose custody battles.
There's a huge... They almost always get joint custody. I mean, there's a very big difference.
What do you mean? She's also here for a reason?
In contentious divorce proceedings, where both parties are advocating
What do you
for
mean?
sole custody of the children. Most people that get divorced do actually come up with child support settlements and child care agreements that both parties can agree on.
Do you agree with
It's
Gavin
really an
about
outlier.
fatherhood? That fatherhood is the missing link in society, and if there were more dads,
It is.
I don't know, kids would be better off.
Yeah, I think fatherhood is a missing link. Yes, I do actually agree that we do need to talk about things like workplace injuries and deaths among men, that we do need to talk about the fact that men are much more likely to commit suicide and succeed than women, that we have a mental health care crisis among men, that men in America and around the world do suffer. But I think a lot of that suffering comes out of traditional gender roles and these expectations that men act tough, that they don't display emotion, and that they don't seek help. And I I think that's also why we have a
Schittler, I think you mean Himmler, but yes, he did say that. And Never Forget World War II was written by the victors, so that might be something you might want to think about. But yes, you are right.
If you have children,
Would you Schittler? Yeah, but it was not Hitler. It was Himmler that said that.
Did your parents stay married?
Yes, they did.
Well, sometimes marriage doesn't work out, Gavin.
Sometimes
and it
marriage
doesn't
doesn't
make
work
you.
out.
It doesn't make you a child abuser.
It does if you choose that. If you choose to be a single mom, which is the majority of single moms. Kevin, I think that's a weird claim. Sometimes marriage doesn't work out, and sometimes dad is a jerk.
The ones that are here right now to see
this. But let's get back to some of these outcome disparities that the conversation.
Well, I'm glad everybody that is here to see this. Thank you for being here.
I think it's wrong for us to focus on the disparity and not focus on exactly what the phenomenon is, and just accept the fact that sometimes there are outcomes, and the outcomes happen to be disparate among men and women, and there isn't some sort of conspiracy being perpetrated against anyone. You said that sexism is dead. I would agree. It's probably dead, and perhaps there are some social values that are producing some intention, some not intentional or deliberate consequences, but are perhaps producing some things that we don't necessarily intend.
It may well be intentional. There's
evidence
that the CIA funded
about it
this
from a policy
magazine.
standpoint at all.
That's actually true.
Okay, that's sure. It sounds really funny coming.
We reward single moms with welfare payments.
Okay, but let me
reward families.
I
Hold on
would
just a
love
second.
to see you survive off of welfare payments. It's not like women are living high on the hog with their, $300 a month to care for their
Get
children.
him, Gavin. Get him.
$300 a month. Welfare with food stamps and more than 3 kids is more like $1,200 a month.
Okay, so Jill, let me ask you this: is sexism dead?
No, sexism is not dead. Sexism is alive and well. If you look at the statistics,
People who
even
see
among
hell
married
in
women,
near
which I know
death
that, again, is talking
experiences.
points, is that,
All right, let's say, I've had near death experiences, but I never saw hell in it. I know God must love me and decided to keep me here a little bit longer, because I know I should have been dead more than once or twice, but whatever. I don't know. There are so many people that talk about it and say things about it. I wonder that, it probably is something that is true. But I can't say, because I've had near-death experiences, like, totally, but I've never seen it. But lots of people have talked about it, so, that does kind of make me wonder. I don't know. I think the closest thing that I can say are the dreams that I have, especially the dreams that I've been having recently. But I've had them all my life, but they've been more insane and more frequent lately, I can say. But besides that, it's hard for me to have an opinion on that, because, like I said, I believe some of the people that bring that up and talk about it, that are, they're probably speaking truth, but I can't say that they are, because, like I said, I've never, even though I probably should have, I've never had one. You're right. One, and then proven by a wife. Really? You guys are keep it going. I don't know why this keeps being a fucking whack.
If you want to find sexism, you have to go abroad, and American women are just fine. American women do make less money. Yes, the gender gap has been pretty much, not entirely erased, but it's been very much condensed among young single women without children. But as soon as
they make more money, young single women without children.
That's what she's saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they make more money.
How do you argue with someone who just keeps making up figures?
I'm not making up figures. Where
Single woman without kids, you make more money than men. Figures? Like which figure?
Does anybody know who came up with the word conspiracy theory and why?
Women make 77 cents on the dollar for every man.
Well, let's see how good you guys are.
It's not just maternity. It's also men are more willing to do things like ask for a raise. And men are more willing to work in more difficult jobs that pay them a greater salary. You know, it's not as cut and dried as. And by the way, Gavin brought up a really good point. If employers thought they could get away with
it was
paying
not what
people 77
I meant.
cents on
I
the dollar,
was
all
a
major
homeless
companies would only hire
heroin junkie when I was 17,
I wish that was true.
and
I mean,
I've
there's another
learned
show.
a lot
There's a really
about
interesting
life.
study that was done, I
Okay,
think, 2 or 3
okay,
years ago, where
okay.
they
I
had,
gotta pause this shit.
they were looking at resumes
Come on
of people.
now. All right. My mom woke me up when I was very young, but it was not what I meant. I was a homeless heroin junkie when I was 17, and I've learned a lot about life during that time. I'm clean now, but even when I was younger, why do they give CIA? I grew up very fast because situations and life and general, and all I thought was paved way, my way to becoming here now. Awake. CIA, why am my messages being... Okay, no, and it is kind of funny, like, it is so hard when you talk to somebody, or when you're in that point and you go, well, why is all this happening to me, and why is all this, da-da-da? Well, God does not need weak sergeants. God does not need weak generals. The reason that we go through everything, and that everything that happened to us, because in one way or another we were chosen. That doesn't mean that we have to choose the path and walk upon the path. But the reason that our eyes were open, and our hearts were, we were given the eyes to see, the hearts to feel, and the mind to know, is because we were chosen. That doesn't mean that we have to actually be smart enough, or whatever, to go along that path, but we were given this chance, and there is a reason we were given this chance. And usually what ends up defining, not completely, but defines somebody a lot, is when they're younger, and the type of crap that happens to them. Because I know a lot of crazy crap happened to me, and I know it definitely defined me, and it was a lot more than most people would have to deal with, which obviously so have you, hon. And that is completely so that he can build your character and build you and strengthen you, because we have some rough times ahead of us. And if you're going to be a sergeant or a general in his army, you're not going to be able to be somebody that's just going to fold under stress. And I think that's why what happens to us, so that we can be strengthened for the battle that is coming. I hope that makes sense. I'm kind of done with this. God, we keep getting into so much other crazy shit. I know I'm just trying to play crap to make us laugh, but keep getting into so much other stuff. Kind of seems a little bit arrogant to keep playing that shit. Alright, well. So we can be stronger, yes. Conspiracy theory, CIA, yes. CIA, they created the conspiracy theory because it's like, even if it gets proven right, we've already called it a conspiracy theory for 100 times more than, we ever deny, or whatever the hell. And that's the problem. Just like when, you know, somebody falsely accuses somebody of rape or this or that, it doesn't matter if they get proven innocent. Their life and their everything is already ruined. That's the same thing if somebody comes up with an understanding of something, they just call it a conspiracy theory. And then even if it's proven right, it's already been tainted because it's been called that, then nobody's going to believe it anyways. It's fucking sickening. It sucks. My main point is I've been through a lot of shit, and I think he made me go through that to be strong. No, I'm sure he did, love. I'm sure he did. No, not at all. It's fine. It's not at all. I'm just really glad that you guys have been here and to have such a good conversation, but it's getting late, and I think I should get my ass something to eat and get to bed. But I just want to tell all of you I love you so much, and thank you for being here. And you know, one thing to realize is if you become a loving and understanding person, and that's not whoever you were before, something has changed inside of you, and something has changed inside of you for a reason. Wait, what does that mean? I didn't mean... What do you mean, good night, I got my phone back? Oh. Oh, I think I know what you mean. They say conspiracy, dig deeper. No, one thing that I've learned is you've got to... That's my mom. Mom. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. No, but never forget, yeah, if conspiracy, yes, you need to dig deeper. Find your own information. I used to say this a lot when I was making my first videos and I was dropping like hard documents that people had really done good work researching. I'd always say, please think that I'm stupid and do your own research. And I really implore everybody to do that. Like, do your own research. Don't believe the shit that I say. Do your own research. Because one thing that I've learned is when you find people that say things that you're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy, or maybe that's even a little bit more than I think, and then you go even do your own research on them, and then you see whether what they were saying was true or false or whatever, you can actually end up building a base of people that, you know, one person is going to research this, the other person researches that, this, that, the other thing. But you can actually step back and look and actually not have to spend 24/7 researching everything, which, fuck, I feel like I still do. But that you can actually pick through and do a little bit of research and a little bit of legwork to see who is reputable. And when you find who's reputable, you can actually go, you know, from this, that, the other thing, and you can, you know, go from 5, 6, 10 people, whatever it is, and have a full spectrum of what is actually been researched, understood, that you can believe, instead of, you know, racking your brain for something that would take a week through, you know, 2 days of information. You can literally get a week's worth of information in about, you know, 5 hours, because you're actually taking your time to go through, you know, people that are actually trustworthy, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. All right. Well, I love you all, and thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, people.